Get it. Oh, lock it. No, you gotta turn the key. Come on.
Can you please shut up?
No.
What the hell are you guys doing?
Hey, you see shit that was going on out there?
Don't flying boxes with giant teeth biting people? It's the end of the world, man!
Well, yeah, I just figured it was just Uptown.
You're not wrong. But this is different.
We need something to protect ourselves. We need weapons. We need something to fight these things. We need a...
Grilled cheese?
When the hell did he get here?
That's besides the point. Nick, we need to focus. We need weapons. We need a...
Crowbar? Lightsaber?
That's where that stuff went.
No, hang on. Okay, that's all well and good. But we need something long range. Something that we can take these boxes down with, like a...
Gun?
Where do you get a gun?
Hold up. Do you even have something larger back there? Oh, that works.
Okay, first off, you guys really need to calm down. We are in the safest place in Uptown Whittier. We are literally encased in brick and glass. Two of the strongest elements known to man.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that is. No! I got you, Bryan! All right. Well, I got Bryan. Why? Bryan, no!
It's time to put him down.
Wait.
What the hell was in the grilled cheese?
Crack?
My own queso chihuahua. My special blend of Mexican chorizo. And Vic's butter. I call it It's Okay, mijo. And I also have one called Sana Sana
Well,
Colita de Rana.
We might not all
But
have
it doesn't
that
really have
NPC
frogs,
vendor,
it's
my
actually
friend.
a blend of Mexican
But what you can rely on is critical cheese for when you need it the most. Where all our sandwiches are crit 20s. Guaranteed.
Recording at 1920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California. This is issue 172. I'm Sean.
I'm Nick.
Rene.
This is Bryan.
And we're going to geek out today. Wait, nerd. We're going to nerd out. Yes.
Also recording at Undercity Comics.
Undercity Comics, yeah.
That's
Missed
good
it by
enough.
that much.
Sponsored by Undercity.
Basically, at this point, we're recording over here. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Who
Welcome.
did the opening this week? Ladies and gentlemen, guest for today's issue, Sean. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
And yes, you're not co-hosting this time around.
No.
No, you are a guest.
Happy to be in the room with you now, finally.
Yes. When did you co-host?
It was
it
when
gone
you
that
were
week?
gone.
Yeah, why was it gone for the day?
2 months ago, maybe 3.
Why were you?
Husband duties.
I think that's what it was. It was that's what we claimed.
I think that's what we
it to
told
be.
you. I think that's what we told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why?
Yeah, do something with Andy.
I don't remember, dude.
Didn't you? Wait,
I don't
was
know.
it the day that he went to go see Britney Spears? Or
No.
not Britney Spears? The other twerp, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift?
No, that
No.
was a separate day. But no, you were doing
something with
I
Andy.
don't remember.
It was you were
Husband
doing
duties.
husbandly duties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was gone.
Yeah,
Sean
again,
co-hosted.
like Andy like cashed in. She's like,
She cashed in.
Yeah.
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
No,
Andy-
so
Andy
Sean
was like,
is
"We're
not.
leaving.
Sean's not a co-host this time around. He's a guest. So Sean, you're gonna have the whole shebang. We're gonna interview you. You're gonna talk about your life. You're gonna talk about some projects you've
It's
been working
bleak.
on, some stuff that's gonna be interesting.
Mhm.
So welcome to the show, Sean. Thank you
Thanks
so much for
having
joining
me
us.
again. I'm excited.
Let's get the formalities out of the way real quick. KeepingUpWithTheNerds.com for all the up-to-date information. Our socials, Instagram, Facebook, X. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Rene. And check out our YouTube as well. Keeping Up with the Nerds so you can see the visual portion
Yes.
of the show. That way you can see Sean and his beautiful face over
Yeah.
here.
Hi.
We're not in costume, unfortunately. But if you guys are on the road driving, don't do the things that you shouldn't be doing, like watching stuff while you're driving. Check
No.
out our audio platforms.
You're not.
Spotify,
You're a
Apple
loser.
Podcast. Stop.
Only winners do that.
Winners do that.
Podbean, Apple Podcasts,
They
Google
win
Podcasts.
straight
Oh
to
no,
the
Google
pavement.
Podcasts is dead. Podbean,
Obviously,
Apple
you're not a prom
Podcasts,
king.
Spotify.
Yeah.
That's it. What?
Obviously, you're not a prom king.
I don't want to drive and watch something,
Because
dude.
prom kings get to have sex with the prom queen.
What are you talking?
The
When
Rock.
did this whole
Yeah, there we
Wait,
go.
what?
I married the prom queen.
I married the prom queen. Really?
It's funny. I just saw the
Wait, are you serious?
unbearable weight
Yeah,
of
it's,
massive
that's
talent.
a line from The Rock.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
Mm.
he's like, oh, where he goes, well, we're gonna have to try, and he goes, losers try, winners are the guys that get to go home and have sex with the prom queen. He goes, I married the prom queen. He goes, really?
That's a great one.
It's a
All
great line.
Yeah.
Renee, do you know that line?
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, okay. Welcome back to the show, dude.
Yeah.
Welcome. So we got a pretty packed show for you guys today. So last week we had Sarah. If you guys have not seen that issue yet, issue 171, Sarah was there last week. We
Yeah.
talked about cosplay,
Mhm.
talked about pretty much life updates and art and everything she's working on.
Yeah.
Today we have Sean.
Monica
Who-
said that she was very distracted because we were trying to get the bangle off.
Oh, that was an interesting bit.
She,
Was she laughing?
She was laughing because she was watching it while she was working, and then she was watching it at work, and she looked down because she can kind of see from the corner of her eye me and you going, like, and Sarah just talking, and she was like, "What the hell are they doing?" And then I'm like,
That reminds me.
and I'm trying to get
No, actually, you know what? That reminds me of something. Monica, take off your earbuds for a second, real quick.
Uh-oh.
We want your workplace to listen.
Why?
Subscribe to Keeping Up with the Nerds. If you guys are actually watching Monica laugh a little bit and wondering
No,
what the
she
hell
doesn't.
she's watching,
She
it's
These
us.
guys.
So subscribe to our YouTube
She-
channel,
yeah.
Keeping Up with the Nerds.
she's a big girl. She has her own office.
Oh.
Okay, throw the
Ah.
phone out, Monica. Grab your phone, throw it out in the
Put it on
hallway,
speaker,
right?
yeah.
Put it on speaker. If you can connect the phone into some like universal speaker that's in the office, that's what I want you to do.
Or
She's
get a
HR. She
Bluetooth.
can't do that.
No, she could.
She can.
It's
Why
she's
not?
she just doesn't want to,
It's not
but she
policy.
should.
Mhm.
And Lewis, you missed a spot. You might want to
Keep
go back in
scrubbing.
the shower. Yeah.
Keep scr- yeah.
Scrub
Remember,
harder.
scrub in between the cheeks, Lewis. All right.
I can smell you.
Get some
Lewis.
suds.
This guy, he doesn't watch his butthole.
I can smell you, Lewis. Why do you smell like baby powder?
Dude, dang, dude, that's a little creepy. Why are you smelling them, dude?
I
You don't
use the
smell your
Dr.
friends?
Squash, the bar soap. the
You
Dr.
use it?
Squash. Yeah.
Yeah, I do
It's
too.
not bad.
Really?
Yeah,
tried
it
it.
smells
Is it
good.
expensive?
I like
It's a
Dove.
little.
It
It's
gets
like
it gets pricey.
yeah, it gets pricey on which ones you get, but I get like a $5 bar.
Okay.
You know,
It
you know
lasts
what?
me for like 2 weeks.
I didn't like it because I felt like it ran out too fast.
You can buy it at Frankincense. There's actually a booth that sells
Dr. Squanch?
Dr. Squanch.
Make sure you're talking to the mic.
They sell the Dr. Squanch over there at they have like their booth. Of
Okay. I've been using Harry's.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
Oh, is
We
Harry's
like
good?
Harry.
Harry's is good.
I use their hair gel.
Not sponsored, but yeah, go get Harry's.
Yeah.
No, get it until we get sponsored.
Yeah.
Then get them.
Well,
You
you
know.
guys
$1
need to
Shave
raid Shadow
Club.
Legends
Reach out
first.
to us too.
'cause,
Like,
I
Dollar
mean,
Shave
dude,
Club.
they're
everybody-
dead.
they're just
Are they
passing
dead?
them
I
out
don't
to
know.
anyone.
I haven't seen them.
You know?
Yeah.
I know for real.
Dollar Shave
Honestly,
Club.
Was it
Why are we
Dollar-
talking about
We look
product
bad.
that we're not even getting sponsored for, dude?
We will if we
Yeah,
talk
we
about it.
should.
Yeah.
We could.
We
Honestly,
could.
why not? Let's do it.
Isn't there a website?
If you're
we can
interested in
sign
whole
up?
sponsoring us,
episode,
let us
yeah.
know. What?
All right. Isn't there a
La-
website we can sign up for?
Last time it was 500. It was 500 subscribers. That was the reason why we were.
Oh, that's right.
No, we can do it. I mean, we'll try to figure some stuff out because I know
Can
there's
make it
people that
happen.
want to sponsor us. But
I do think Raid Shadow Legends is that one and
Any idle game.
Honey is also super easy
yeah, but
as
Honey's
well.
weird.
Honey?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
a discount.
it's the discount
server.
app that
Okay.
you goes on your computer and then it tells you like, oh, these are all the promo codes.
Oh, okay.
So they have their own thing where when you register
If we
with
stream
them,
enough, we
it
can
just
get G
gives you.
Fuel.
It just gives it to you.
Do I want G Fuel?
No, you need to be like Philly D and get a Blue Apron.
Oh,
'Cause
Bill
he,
Apron, yeah.
He sold me on Blue Apron. I would
Do you-
actually like to get that.
Do you
Factor.
have you gotten?
Spencer actually got Factor.
Did he really?
Yeah, it was alright. I tried one of them. I was like,
Dude, I just make my own food, dude. I spent 6 hours in the kitchen yesterday, dude.
Making cookies?
6 hours. I spent 2 hours making cookies because I was watching Bachelors in Paradise.
Another hour crying.
And then I made about an hour and a half dinner.
seasoning
I marinated
food
my own
for
beef, dude.
twos.
Made what?
I did like a version of like teriyaki beef.
Congratulations for
yeah.
adulting.
But yeah, no, I've known how to cook. It's just I haven't had a normal job to be able to do it. Now I can go home by 6 and actually like make food.
Yeah.
You know what I've been
Nice.
loving doing is just making pot roast. And just
I want to get a slow cooker.
yeah.
I want one.
Monster.
Oh, dude, I have one of those like what is it called, pressure cookers?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They gifted it me for the
Instapot?
wedding.
Ooh,
yeah, dude.
have you
Oh.
used it yet?
Not yet. I totally should.
Dude.
So here's the thing. I was thinking about
Dude,
this,
just
right?
Put some ketchup, some pot roast.
So before you got here,
tomatoes.
I told Renee that yesterday
of
the
Velveeta.
reason I spent the reason I spent 6 hours in the kitchen was I made rice with pinto beans. I didn't add any like salt in it. I just kind of seasoned it with herbs just because I didn't
few
want too
bay
much salt.
leaves.
Yeah, because
Why do I feel like if you were to use a pressure cooker in your apartment, the electrical would just set your house on fire?
no, but oh my god, can you just trust me in something like for once? I
I
also
just-
made pumpkin spice hot chocolate from scratch.
Did you really?
Yes, I made a hot chocolate with a pureed pumpkin. I added like my own spices to it and.
How
came
many
out pretty
white
good.
girls showed up to your house? Because if you brew it, they will come.
Right?
If you brew it, they will come.
Literally.
Dude, my house smelled like pumpkin spice for a bit, and then I made those cookies from scratch.
I
And
like
then-
the warm notes, you know,
Yeah.
like that seasonal, like
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about like
homie.
someday in the future opening up like my place to just friends and just be able to cook because it's great. Like I've hung out with like John, for example, right? But John likes to dominate the kitchen, but that's because it's his like domain. Sometimes when he gets into it,
Yeah.
and I'm the same way. If I'm like cooking, I'm in my own domain. I have to be there and like don't interrupt me. I got my way of doing
So
it.
you bottom when it comes to cooking.
What?
You bottom.
Why do you insult me? I'm trying to be nice. Do you want me to invite you to this cookout or not?
You're not invited to
he's
the
not-
cookout.
I'll have a cookout same day, same time
Christ, Nick
in
would,
my
dude.
kitchen.
You right?
I'm
Instead of
making
your,
2 trips that day.
He's only doing it to one up me.
I'll put it an hour earlier.
He's gonna be like, "You have one pressure cooker. I got 2."
I got two.
I do actually have 2 pressure cookers.
That's great. I didn't ask, dude.
He's
I
gonna
you
get
can
a
actually make
DJ.
yogurt.
He's like, I'm gonna get a
With
DJ.
one of them, the Instapot,
Diplo.
some of them have that setting
You know,
to
you know
make
what?
yogurt.
You know which one is actually really funny? Doing a pizza party.
Pizza
Like
party.
like going to like an Italian market and then just getting a bunch of dough, and then just
Why can't you
putting
just
it
make the
in
dough
oven.
yourself?
You could. It just
Yeah.
takes. It just takes a little longer. That's all.
Gotta
But
wait for
it-
the dough to rise.
You gotta wait for the dough to rise.
It
and
takes like an
everything
hour.
else.
It's fine.
You need a good
That's
oven
too
though
much.
for that.
No,
And within that hour,
no,
I
if you
could
want-
be eating a pizza.
No, if you want the dough to rise correctly, you have to do it 24 hours.
Really?
Yes.
I've done it in an hour. It came out pretty well.
If you want it to taste like really good and airy, leave it out for 24
You have
hours.
to make the dough in Italy. You have to fly out there and actually
Exactly.
do it.
No, but there's plenty of places that like the Italian markets, like Fumetto's. Fumetto's actually sells their own dough,
Oh.
and you can make pizza out of it. But it's really cool because you can get like marinara from there, then you can get like the meats and everything else, and you just make your own pizzas.
The impromptu pizza party, but we
Yeah.
make it ourselves.
And then you make like personal pizzas.
Imagine if businesses did that instead of giving you raises. It's like, oh, here's a pizza party, but you make your own pizzas.
No. No,
Dude,
I've seen
here's
enough
a
of those
pizza
on
party.
TikTok.
Here's the Lunchables. And then there's the microwave.
That sounds
Dude,
about
Have
right.
fun, kids.
Dude, my job
Thanks,
does
Amazon.
that. My job does that all the time, where they're just like, "Good job, everybody! You guys all did really great. Let's go to Shakey's." And then I'm like, "Why Shakey's?
Yeah.
Of all the places,
Like,
why
dude,
is
we-
this
we
the?
do the lunch bunch, probably.
It is the bunch of
Yeah,
lunch.
it's a bunch of
Yeah,
lunch.
we're
It's
going.
not that bad.
It's not.
It's
you
not
know.
good.
It's not good,
No.
but I mean, it's
I
okay.
mean, I
this
like
is coming from the
Mojo's.
guy. We went to Denny's last
Mojo's are
week,
good.
and you ordered a T-bone steak,
Dude,
and
that
you were
T-bone-
super disappointed. I'm
I
like, what
was
did you
super
expect?
disappointed with that
It's
T-bone
freaking
steak.
Denny's,
It's
dude.
Denny's, yeah.
We should have went to Norm's.
Well, you know,
We coulda.
We
We should have.
We
Yeah,
Yeah,
Norm
but it's like,
steaks are
but
pretty
why?
good.
But why do you? I don't know, dude.
Have you had
You're
a steak at
ordering the
Norm's?
lobster at a diner. No one orders
Yeah,
the
no one
lobster. It's
does,
just there on the menu for formality.
I just
No
went with
one
my
orders
grand
it.
slamwich.
Oh wait, isn't that that's the bodega sketch on SNL, right?
Yeah.
Where he's just like, I want a lobster. Why would you get a lobster at a bodega?
Or I think it was Keenan Thompson in like the
Yeah.
lobster.
Yeah,
They,
he's in
they
the
roll
lobster-
him out.
Yeah, and
bring out
he-
the lobster.
He's been here for like years.
Yeah.
Well, that was our opening segment. Sean,
Yeah.
how about you talk to us a little bit about yourself? If people aren't familiar with you because they didn't watch the issue where you co-hosted, which they should, it's the Secret Invasion episode. You guys talked about that when it first premiered. Let's go ahead and let's get to know you a little bit. Tell us about Sean. Who is Sean? What are his hobbies?
Well, my name's Sean. I like long walks on the beach, a nice candlelit dinner.
Ooh.
No, I'm kidding.
Do you do the whole Lady in the Tramp thing? Stop.
time,
Put the
yeah.
freaking can up, dude.
What?
Don't do that.
I was shaking it.
I know you are. Put it above
It
the table.
specifically says
Put it above. I
shake
know it says
well
shake well, but you can
and
shake it from
enjoy
the
it.
top.
That's
You don't
the-
need to shake it.
That's the power shake right there.
All the
This
motion.
is the
Yeah.
best way to shake. What
Muscle
are you talking
memory.
about? Do you not know how to shake like this or what?
Dude, in front of our guests, can you have a little more respect? No, I'm not watching you, dude. It's a little. You can, Sean. It's
you can,
totally
you can
fine.
make eye contact with Sean.
I can't finish till you look me in the Yeah, look me in the eyes.
Can we go back
Yes.
to this whole long walks on the beach?
Look at me.
So I'm a fan of like
I got it everywhere.
nerd culture, nerd stuff.
Sorry.
Sorry,
You're
yeah.
just squirting all over the place, and
So you're into
while I'm here
nerd stuff.
monologuing. Yeah,
You're into nerd stuff.
I'm into nerd stuff. I
Like
like to call
nerdy?
it nerd stuff. I like sci-fi. I mean, I'm a big Magic fan. I love Magic the Gathering. I'm okay. I got my coffee. I got my coffee.
I'm good, thank
No
you.
means no.
I just like to offer.
I know, and thank you for the offer, but after what you did, no.
Yeah. I'm
You're just
offended.
jealous.
I'm offended.
Just
all-
what, dude?
I mean,
That
You
it's
was-
all-
weren't, you
I
weren't
mean-
down there.
I mean, basically, it's all frothy, you know, very foamy.
You need more water, bro.
Oh,
More if
damn,
it's coming
dude.
out like that.
So something you said you're
Hydration.
really into magic.
Yeah,
I
like-
didn't. Okay,
Magic
I
the Gathering.
understood that you were into magic
Mhm.
when you and I first met. They're like, "Oh, I'm a magic player." I'm like, "Dope." I won't get back into it because no, it's
That's
an
cool.
addiction.
I don't
It's
like it.
cardboard
Okay.
crack.
Wait,
Cardboard crack.
It's
Exactly.
cardboard crack.
Blue,
Yeah.
green. What kind of deck is it?
Oh, I
Oh,
mean,
Oh no
I-
no. That's the wrong question to ask him.
Commander deck?
I, yeah,
I feel like
love
I feel
Commander.
like I feel like you. have
Wait,
Commander
did you
deck.
not see his backpack?
I had my backpack one time here, maybe. I had like 5 or 6 Commander decks in it.
This dude walks into Guildhall one time. He's like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to show you my magic collection." This guy comes in with like one of those tech bags that like people carry like 3 laptops in. It's just full of magic cards. There's like I think 4 or
It's-
5
it's
decks.
specifically made so
Nice.
you can like have deck boxes and like there's 3 rows in there. You can
That's
fit like
pretty
12
sick.
of them.
That's pretty sick.
It was
That's,
awesome.
that's how I roll.
love it.
That's how I roll with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
You know, I mean, it's an investment. You know, you want to make sure that they're transported safely. You know,
That
they're
makes sense.
waterproof.
I actually have my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the metal version of the bigger, blacker box.
What?
For Cards Against Humanity.
Oh.
I didn't know they had a metal
They have,
box.
they have a metal box for it, where it's like it's
Super
all
rectangular.
it's rectangular, it's metal, and it's the bigger, blacker metal box.
hmm
And I put all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in there because it also fits the deck boxes.
You're
Oh,
so
perfect.
cool,
Okay.
dude. You're so cool. Wow, dude.
There's a lot that's the fun thing. I like to see when people get really creative on how they transport their decks and like just show it off, because it also adds more character to the deck.
Yeah.
Like there's this guy who made this massive like grimoire. It's the deck box, and it also folds out into like a playmat, and it's this
That's so
graveyard
sick.
miniature thing, and like there's headstones for the graveyard,
Yeah.
and just all this.
That's super cool.
And I'm like, it blew my mind. I'm like, that is some cool Etsy stuff
I
right
I
there.
love seeing also like the different kind of dice that
Oh.
people get, especially
Math
for.
rocks. Love them.
I loved seeing like magic dice
Mm-hmm.
because magic dice are different from D&D dice.
Yeah, they're just spin down, so it's all like
It's all
In
in
ascending
order. It's in
order.
ascending order, whereas it would be like a dice where it's all
Yeah.
has to be randomized.
Dice
Yeah.
is a completely different beast
Yeah.
because like dice artwork is gorgeous. Whoops.
Yeah.
Technically, those are.
And it was Bryan with
Yeah.
the first
First
one.
one.
First one. Oh crap!
You know what that means, right? It means that we're all unleashed. That's what that means.
Going rogue.
We're going rogue.
This episode's
Off
gonna be
script.
demonetized really fast.
Sorry, when I get passionate, I lose it, dude.
Technically, the dice that you get when you from like magic kits and stuff, they're not labeled as dice. They're
Counter.
Like
Counters.
counters, yeah.
It's counter, but
Counter to
but
be-
but I love the
Well, actually,
I think because I remember I saw these dice on Etsy and I was like, oh, these dice are really sick. And then right before I bought them, my buddy was like, whoa, wait, make sure that they're not counters. Because I was like looking on Etsy and I just put dice,
Mhm.
and there was a couple of them that were like, oh, you have to choose the dice option and not the counter option. And I was like, oh, shit. I almost.
There was a Kickstarter that I was gonna do, and it really cool concept. It's like all the dice that you have, like a D4 all the way to D20, everything in between, and you get double the dice. And they had like dragon eyes in them. There were different colors.
Oh.
And if you got like the Kickstarter exclusive, whatever, you would get 4 sets of dice and 2 exclusive ones that were only for that. And I'm like, I'll pass. But I was following the Facebook page. There is the amount of quality control that they did is absent. People are getting dice that are like busted up. They look so bad. They don't even look like what they were advertised as.
I thought you were gonna say like they look bussin'.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, okay.
We're
So they're
going
good.
Gen Z.
Yeah, I was like-
zero updates for the community and stuff. Like, I just love, like, I'm bored. I'm like, when's the last time they said something?
Mhm.
It's just like people ranting like, I want my money back. I'm
Yeah.
not getting my order.
That
and it's been
sounds-
like so many months.
That sounds like
But
Loot
that's-
Crate. Like
Oh,
Loot
yeah.
Crate right now.
Is
Look-
Loot Crate dead, or is that?
It's
dying.
dying.
I feel like-
It's dying,
I feel
but
like those are dead now.
they're still taking people's monies and they're
Yeah.
still promising them like something.
The one I really like doing on Etsy, I haven't bought one just because I don't know where I'm gonna put it. Dice towers.
Oh.
I look up dice towers.
Are they the ones where you drop the
all-
dice on the top and it
Yeah.
like scrambles them and then
But
drops
there's like so many. There's so many like really cool ones.
Yeah.
Where
Like a
like,
pirate
I think we've
skull,
seen-
and
Yeah.
you, like,
We've
you
seen a
drop
few
it through
at
the
LA
back of the
Comic-Con last
it comes
year.
out the mouth.
yeah, when we were at LA Comic Con, they were selling them over at the I forget the guy that we interviewed. They had a couple.
critical.
I think it was Critical Dice, wasn't it? Or-
Something
Yeah,
like
critical dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, Critical
Yeah.
Dice.
Got
They
the
had
coin.
they had a couple. I think you might have. Did you buy one? Or did
No,
you,
I
he was
just I
there.
just gave the pitch so well that the guy who was running the booth is like, you know what? Here you go.
you can have a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember that. But there's a bunch of, if you go on Etsy, some of them are sick.
There was a, I think it might have been
Money.
Anime Expo or LA Comic Con one year. There were handcrafted wooden dice that were weighted, and those were pretty sick. But they were like over about $80, $90
The
because
one I
they were all
saw,
handcrafted.
there was one that I saw that was really funny, where it was a dragon. It was like a dragon landing, and like the dragon's mouth was open and everything like that. And the tail was up, and then you had to drop the dice down the tail,
That's
cool.
sick.
and then it then
cool.
rolled out and it came out of his mouth. And I was like, so we're just shoving dice up the dragon's butt?
You know, if I could get one that like
A dice
spirals
enema.
like from Dragon Ball Z when Goku's like on the
Oh, he's
on
on-
the serpent.
He's on
Yeah.
Serpent Way.
Mhm.
Serpent Way. Yeah, sorry, I don't want
You're good. You're
Yeah,
good.
that would be sick too.
yeah, just
Have
a
you-
really long
Have you seen
one.
have you seen some of the really interesting ones that people make out of Pringles cans?
No,
Oh.
that's some cool. Dude. I feel
can
like that's
picture it.
something Sarah would do. Like, she
It's-
could make those.
There's like really cool like things that people have been doing because Pringles cans are already pretty cool. So what they do is they get the lids from the Pringles cans, then they cut them, and then they hot glue them inside of the Pringles can, so that way it then has that drop,
Yeah,
and then they just decorate the outside however they want.
that's
And
pretty
they just
smart.
paint it and they do everything like that, and they put like ceramic on the outside, and they just turn a Pringles can into a dice tower.
Arts
it's
and crafts, you gotta love
And
it.
it's super cheap. It's like I think somebody was like spent like $25. It was like then the most they spent on was like paint.
Yeah, you can picture it. Well, we've been talking about dice for the past like 5 minutes, but
dice are
here's the
sick.
thing: if you talk to Sean is the type of person to basically you're a nerd's nerd, right? You're like not one of those nerds that says like, oh yeah, I watch Marvel movies and I'm like totally into it and that makes me a nerd. No,
So mainstream.
what's so interesting about it is that when you invited me over to your place,
Stuff.
you invited me over to your place a couple like a month or two back because we were building a commander deck. We were finally building mine. And you come out with like boxes full of magic cards, and then you started showing me one of the commander decks you have, which you bought sleeves from Japan, I think is what you said.
Yeah, I
And
bought
those were,
these
like-
exclusive sleeves. That's the really cool thing, like Japan for Magic, they get so many just like exclusive items over there, from like deck boxes, playmat, sleeves, to even like they recently did tokens that are like really thick pieces of like plastic, and it's its own unique art, and you can only have gotten them in game stores in Japan.
Yeah.
And I think they go for like on eBay for $20, $15 just for the one token.
It's weird though, because the same thing happens for Pokemon, same thing that happens with Yu-Gi-Oh, same
Yeah.
thing that happens with all of these card games.
But Magic people will not. You can't scalp that because there's just such a finite amount, and I mean, in Japan they're not normally with that mindset. Like, I'm gonna grab everything and like resell it. You kind of have like some people.
They're not
putting up
Americanized.
listings.
There are some.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
But
some.
not as bad as like here, at least like to my knowledge. Because
That is one reason why I really like when it's just like, oh yeah, it's one per person or one per IP or anything like
Yeah.
that, where it's like you're not going to be able to get a bunch.
yeah, because I mean, like even
fair.
card stores, some of them would do like the really scummy thing is like they would give them the promos for F&M, and what they would end up doing is listing them all on eBay or TCG Player or something like Cardboard Kingdom, and they're not giving any of them to essentially the players for showing up or like placing in the tournament. And I mean, that's kind of scummy right there. And
Yeah.
they're just making money off of it. But
That's
the Magic community can be cool and toxic, but very inclusive, which is cool.
But I think that comes with most card game TCG communities, right?
Yeah, I
Like-
think Pokemon is the worst though. Hands down.
Yes.
Because there when COVID was a thing, I remember hearing that they would go follow the people who would drop off the product, follow them to their house and say, hey, let me get a deal. Like, first off, why are you showing up to this random person's house? Because you want to make a buck. You know, like, where's your like
The logic.
the logic there? Like,
Yeah.
you're just so out of touch and like just so greedy. Like, bro, this is a random ass person. Like, you're gonna get the cops called on you.
I've had
or
this
shot.
I think we talked about this. Nick and I talked about this because I'm trying to build the Crimson Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh deck.
The one,
Based-
the one I got you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to like build and try to figure things out. But I was telling Nick as we were talking about this that when it comes to like TCG, I'm not the type of person to build a deck around something that'll work and win me competitions. It's just my favorite card.
Yeah, like your
So
Red
when-
Eyes deck.
My Red Eyes deck, like
Yeah.
I don't care if it doesn't work. I just grew up watching OG Yu-Gi-Oh and
Mhm.
Red Eyes was my favorite card. So if I can build a deck around it, that works, right? Magic kind of has the same thing.
That's what losers say.
Shut up. Magic kind of has the same thing, right? Because I
That's
can't
loser
get
talk right
into Magic. I used to, but there was so much money being spent into it because they would
Yeah.
release sets every single month.
Yeah.
Pokemon's getting into that kind of trend as well, and they have been pushing sets because
There's a
They-
meta.
there
There's
is a meta
there's
because
meta.
151 just released a couple months ago
Mhm.
or like a month ago, and now we're getting Paradox Rift,
Mhm.
like literally came out today as of recording. And then a couple months after that, you're going to get another one before the year is over.
Mhm.
So how can you get into that? How can you?
It's really overwhelming.
It is
Yeah.
overwhelming. And then you're looking at how many collabs Magic is
Does it-
currently doing.
Does it change the
Yeah.
mechanics of it though?
In a way, yes.
some of them,
and
yeah.
some, yeah.
Some have their own mechanic, like the Doctor Who one that came out has its own
For
where
Magic.
It's literally called timey wimey, as like.
But
their own
Magic is a
mechanic.
different beast. And
Ju-
because Pokemon, it's more of
Yeah.
rule sets, and the rule sets stay the same, but certain Pokemon combinations and item combinations will make the gameplay work a bit different. The thing about Magic that pisses me off, and we've talked about this in great length, is the grammar in the cards.
It's not a math game. It's like an English game.
It
you
is.
know?
That's every
Yeah.
card game though.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so
But Magic is just like
Tool.
I'll read
'Cause
a
there's-
card
Tool.
and it
Well-
literally goes over. my
Yeah.
head.
Well, because
I'm like-
it's the same thing as it's the same thing in
Like-
Yu-Gi-Oh where it's like rules is written.
double strike,
Like what is
Yeah,
the
double strength, stampede,
what is it that the card
put one
says?
card
Yeah.
on with a
hexproof.
2+2
'cause-
token and it has an automatic stampede and like
When this
What?
card enters and it's alongside this card.
yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
it's interesting though because when you're reading the card, you kind of have to take it step by step. Where you go,
Mhm.
okay, cool. When the card enters Stampede, okay, cool. So when the card enters, this effect goes off.
Mhm.
Then once it's been sitting, once it lands, the next effect goes off.
Mhm.
Because that's the same thing with the Yu-Gi-Oh, where like when you put a card down, it's this card gets
For
summoned.
Yu-Gi-Oh, is there any way of interrupting? Like, here's a text of rule or what the ability of the card is? Is there any way for you to like let one thing happen
Yes.
and then interrupt that from everything else
So
from happening?
so it depends because sometimes there's landing effects. So
Okay.
like there's like, oh yeah, the card landed on the field,
Mhm.
and this effect goes off because but
Landing effect.
yeah, so like, oh yeah, the card, but you can also stop that effect.
Okay.
Because you can stop cards from landing, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play this card. Oh,
Do
well,
you know
I'm
how
gonna use
BS
this-
that is though?
Well,
No.
There's a lot of like, there's a lot of defense that
stop it
happens
from
in
landing.
hands now.
You just smack the
In
card out
meta
of the player's
of
hand,
like where you're just going, oh, you can't play this, you can't
I'll
play
tell
this,
you.
don't play that now. Oh, you can't play that. So there's a lot of defense that happens in just the hand.
Do you understand
Yeah.
how BS that mechanic is though? Because there's so many players I played with. At least in Magic, whenever I've played random strangers, they're like, I'm gonna cast this,
Is it okay?
and then they wait. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, no response, cool. Okay, now
No,
I'm gonna do
that's
this.
but that
right?
that's what happens in Yu-Gi-Oh too.
Yu-Gi-Oh is so freaking weird because when I used to play, it's like this. It's like I'm gonna cast this, I'm gonna activate this, I'm gonna do this. They don't give you room to breathe. And so
No.
if you can't react to whatever's happening, oh, that sucks. That was like what, 2-3 turns of
Yeah.
like
Well,
the
that's-
same
And
phase.
I feel like that's a
that's-
shitty tactic.
Yeah.
That because there's
Well-
also the body odor tactic that they do in Magic
Oh my
tournaments.
god,
Where
yes.
like that was a legit
Tactic.
strat.
Yeah.
Like
Of
you're
like-
gonna throw them off with your musk. Like
yeah.
Well, because the thing is that when
No,
you're supposed
yeah,
to do,
'cause sorry,
Go ahead.
really quick, because I used to run Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments at the first location for the store. This was like 10 years ago, and I remember like every single tournament.
Spraying Febreze.
I would start out with Febreze, and then by the end of the night, oh my god, like just so bad. And then it sucked even more. Like the smellier ones would go out for a smoke break. So they wouldn't brush their teeth on top of that as well too. So they're
Stop.
talking and they're like, okay,
hot
and
breath.
yeah,
Oh.
hot garbage mouth with like cigarettes on top of that with BO. I'm like,
That's hot.
oh my god, dude, like
it's hot.
Magic players are
no.
smelly.
yeah. And then Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments would be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do escrows, and I'm gonna
Well-
do XYZ, and then you're trash on top of that.
Yeah.
Because the idea, because I've done that before, where you go like, I'm gonna play this.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Mhm.
Do you have anything for
Any
that?
responses? No.
Any response?
Okay.
And then as soon as they go no, then you go, okay, cool. And then you drop one more card because you're supposed to, every single time you drop a card, you're supposed to go,
Yeah, it's
Is
not
that
like
okay?
the actual anime
Yeah.
where it's like
yeah, is that okay? And then you just keep going.
6 minutes of monologue and then my
Yeah.
next card.
Because
Have you seen
I've seen it before where I've done it before with like a one turn deck
Oh.
where,
Okay.
where it's a one turn deck and I just go, can you stop this? And then he literally goes, no. And then I go, we're gonna be here a while.
Did you hear about the guy that won a tournament using Exodia?
Yeah, there's
It recently happened.
recently
right?
happened,
Yes.
yeah.
And
It's
it's an older cat too.
it's
that
an
did
older
it.
dude. Yeah, because it's called a which one? OTK.
Is it the whole pot of greed thing? Or
No, it wasn't. It wasn't pot of greed. It was like
No, it was
he brings out the blue card, and then that lets him like pitch some cards, draw that many. and
there was
then-
it's basically just a draw deck.
Yeah.
All you're doing is you're just murdering 40 cards.
Have you
In a
seen?
single
you're
turn.
blowing through it.
Have you seen the?
And it's
the
an OTK deck. It's
the,
fun.
the
It's
short-
super fun. But if you mess up at any point during it,
Yeah.
the
engine's
you're
gone.
done. The engine's gone. You're
Yeah.
done. And or
You're gonna
if they
brick.
if they interrupt you,
the-
because also it's one of those things of as you're going in that engine,
Yeah.
if somebody can interrupt you or stop you, the entire hand goes.
Yeah.
The whole hand gets discarded.
the
That's
thing
why I
that
don't like
reminded me
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
about
Because
it,
of that.
the thing that reminded me about the whole Exodia thing. Have
Yeah.
you seen the clip of back when what's it called? Achievement Hunter was still a thing.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Rage Quit or whatever.
Mhm.
The one of the members, Michael.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, do you?
Mm.
He's playing the Yu-Gi-Oh online game,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's playing an opponent, and he gets like beaten one turn by an Exodia deck,
Mhm.
and it's like what the, and he gets all mad about
Yeah.
it. That's what it reminded me of because
Oh.
it is possible.
Dude, it's 100. I built one before. It's so much fun
Yeah,
to do because not only that, but then as you're doing it, people are just going, "What are you pull? Like, what are you?
See,
Yeah.
When's it my
what
turn?
What are
Yeah.
you
When-
looking for?" And then like it's just like, okay, cool. I'm gonna pitch 5 cards. It's like you're gonna pitch how many cards? And it's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna draw 6 cards. Then I'm gonna draw another 2 cards. Well, this effect goes off, so I draw another 2
Yeah,
cards.
there's always something like that.
And then you got
But-
like 13
Yeah.
cards in your hand. It's like, what in the world are you doing? You're just like, okay, cool. Pitch that, pitch that, pitch that, pitch
Yeah,
that.
Zodiac.
And then you just go, all right, cool. I win. And then, because I love going, well, I win. And then they're like, why would you win? It's
Yeah.
like Exodia.
Yeah.
So
And
if
then
so-
just dropping Exodia in your
So
hand.
when I used to run the tournaments, the like tail end of it, like I think it was like a little bit after the Ravnica block for
Okay.
Magic and stuff.
oh,
Yeah, after it was like
Back in the day.
The return?
Yeah, the return of Ravnica.
Oh.
But it was like
Dragon's
we were
Maze.
just getting into the new block,
Uh-huh.
and that one was just barely gonna get phased
I
out.
wish they still did that.
Yeah,
They don't now.
they don't know.
Dude,
And so
Return to
then like
Ravnica era,
I
bro.
remember the most common thing that players would do that when right before the player was gonna do like a final like move and win the game, they'd just be like, "Oh, I scoop." Just like,
Oh, I
Wait,
that-
what?
I hate
that you
scoop.
could
I forfeit.
scoop.
I
Yeah,
forfeit.
basically you're giving up. It's a tournament legal thing to do.
Yeah.
You grab all your cards and you say, "I give up" or "I scoop."
You scoop,
That's the
yeah.
term.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you just get up and
You
you lose.
just walk off, and then they get the win. But
Yeah.
they don't get that final like
Yeah,
like that
it's-
final thrust.
Well, because around the
Such
Return to
a
Ravnica time,
cheap
Yeah.
move.
I'm
like,
not gonna,
oh,
I don't know why. I don't know why it feels really nice
Yeah.
in Yu-Gi-Oh where you have to put your hand on the deck.
yeah.
That's cool.
Well,
That's very-
it's such a good like it's like
Yeah.
almost like a tasteful kind of like give up.
Yes.
It's like
yeah.
here, okay.
Well,
that's
bear in
fine.
mind the
Okay.
Return of Ravnica
And
I'm
that-
deck.
and that's-
just salty. I'm just salty, and I'm gonna leave.
It's,
Yeah.
it's such a like a little dickish thing to do. Where
Yeah.
kind of like I give up.
I'm gonna
Totally.
give up. I like when they see that they're gonna when they
Just getting edged at
yeah
that
well,
point.
Yeah.
Like,
because
I mean, it's not bad.
especially when you're on the road of like oh boom 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 boom
Yeah.
I'm gonna start dropping and then you just see somebody put their hand on the deck and it's like I'm not gonna win.
Yeah.
Like
So
you already set up.
so the Return to Ravnica, that one never because that was there for
that
2
was
years,
a
right?
Pretty bad.
That was a because
that was
remind
a bad set.
that was
around
blue
time.
red, right? Dominant blue red.
No, it was. They had the guild, so they had
Yeah,
all.
they brought
had
back all
Demir,
those
from
planeswalkers and
way
stuff.
back-
the
yes.
original. Jace the
Uh,
Mind Sculptor,
mhm.
Chandra, and stuff
right
like
after.
that.
I think it was Lorwyn, and then a little
Yeah.
while longer than they ended up having.
Mhm. I remember
the
that
Ravnica
set
block.
specifically because we always had to like bust open boxes
Mm-hmm.
and get singles out and stuff. So I
Yeah.
would see all the cards and I was like, oh yeah.
Those shock lands. I mean, for a
Oh
while,
my
those
God,
lands.
yeah.
That is the best part of that set.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
Everyone
the only thing
wanted
that
those
really
shock lands.
maintained. You know,
Mm-hmm.
stability price. But yeah, the lands were really good.
Everyone wanted those.
This
shock
is
Yeah,
the
for
nerdiest
modern.
we've been
In
on
a
the
while.
show.
This
in
is
a
this
while.
is
Oh, it's
this
gonna
is
get
deep cut
nerdier,
nerdier.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy.
I mean,
deep nerd.
even
Right.
I'm
Are
involved
you
in
ready
this
for the
conversation.
deepest cut?
That's something. Like,
Cardboard crack. This is what it does to you,
Yeah.
man.
Dude,
like,
Cardboard.
I never played the game, but I sold the cards. And
No,
I've seen the tournaments.
You,
but that's-
you know which one I really liked though? I loved and I wish stores still did it
What?
because it was back when there was still EB games.
Oh,
And I loved EB games.
dude.
R.I.P.
I loved EB
Alright,
games
well,
and,
yeah,
the,
yeah.
and the main
they're still around, but like in Canada.
yeah.
In
But-
where? Sorry.
Canada and Australia.
Sorry, I
think?
don't know Canada.
Well,
What are you talking about? You don't know?
You're not Canadian, are you?
I don't
He
know.
might be.
Are you Canadian?
No.
Are you Canadian?
He's only Canadian.
Whoa. Are you?
Yes.
Why are you interrogating me?
Because I don't want to deal with Canadians.
Are you interviewing
Why-
me or
which
are you
one- why don't you wanna
interrogating
deal
me?
with
I don't wanna
Canadians?
I don't want to deal with Canadians, dude.
Why?
They're too nice.
Oh,
Is that why you're nice? 'Cause you're Canadian?
No, I'm not. I'm not nice.
Okay,
Not
so
nice.
anyway,
I just like you. That's why.
Aw, thanks, dude.
I like you all.
the reason why I was going down that route is because I remember when I was a kid, EB Games would always host Pokemon tournaments.
Really?
EB Games would host Pokemon tournaments and they would have reproduction models of the badges.
That's
it was like
cool.
plastic badges that they would give to you, and then they would give you like a little pamphlet,
Mhm.
and then what they would do is you had to beat 3 players at the tournament, and then you could then challenge the workers who were gym leaders,
That's cool. Bring that back.
and then you would then battle them in a Pokemon battle,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you beat them, then you got their gym badge.
Well,
And you could then bring it back week to week, and it was
oh,
it was
oh,
done.
why do I remember that promo?
Yeah, and it was like this, and it was they did it for like maybe like 3 or 4 months, where you would come back and forth, and you would basically just play Pokemon
Yeah.
Wolfie,
outside of the store.
Wolfie
And it was
VGC,
great.
That's
Pokemon.
cool.
But that's a cool little promo. That was
Yeah.
so much fun because I remember meeting so many kids playing Pokemon, outside and we were just playing through it. Mind you, I met a lot of toxic kids when I was like 9 who were just like, oh yeah.
You?
Yeah. No, because I was bad at the game. I was 9, dude. I didn't know how to play Pokemon.
Wow.
No one did.
Wow.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
No, but Wolfie
Nobody-
VGC
No,
did
no
a
one.
concept like that with the new Scarlet and Violet, where he rented out a store in New York City. And then he had like 3 or 4 other of his YouTuber buddies kind of be the trainers for a Pokemon gym.
Yeah.
And so if he beat all 3 or 4 trainers,
Mhm.
the trainer would then battle him. And he's like a world championship he won a world championship in 2018.
Wow.
And so if they beat him, they got like, he had like exclusive badges to give to people. It's cool. The concept of that kind of like, to do that, it's a pretty
Yeah.
cool concept. It just doesn't happen as much.
Yeah.
I miss that memorabilia. Like
Yeah.
the memorabilia that you would get from like TCG player, or not TCG player, but like TCG, like any kind of like
Event.
card game like events and stuff like that, or just like going out to like the game stores and they would just sell it to you as well. Like, here's the table number thing that you had, and it was like this really cool like display. You get to take that home. You can't
You could just move the
Yeah.
mic.
Well, the other one that I thought was really cool because EB Games did it again with Yu-Gi-Oh! When
Mhm.
Battle City came out.
Battle
But-
City.
Yeah, so when the game
Remember the
came
blimp?
out, yeah, so when the blimp
Yeah.
and all that stuff, but what they did
Jinzo.
is instead of what was
Yeah.
it? You had to collect 10 stars.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like what was it, like Duelist Kingdom,
Yeah.
but it was when Battle City started because the video game of Battle City had just come
Oh,
out.
I was like,
I remember
So what
that,
they-
yeah.
stars.
So what they did is you had to get
Like,
stars. So you
the-
actually
like the,
so
uh,
as you were like
Pegasus
dueling,
Island.
Yeah.
you would have to bet stars, and
That's
they gave you
cool.
like little paper stars,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to bet them on the game. So you have to do it just like Pegasus Island, and then you would then play Yu-Gi-Oh. It was so much fun.
Mhm.
That's the whole reason why I got into card games because I was like,
That's
oh my
cool.
god, this is awesome.
Mhm.
And you would play it, and like, there was kind of like that thing of, dang, I beat that kid.
we were in a good era for card games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now, but now, and it's so weird
It's all
now
about
because
money now.
now
It is.
And
But-
you know,
the reason why I didn't really know how to play Pokemon at the time is because remember during that time they didn't give out energy cards as willy nilly as they did now.
yeah.
Because in those original packs, because in those original
Yeah.
packs you'd maybe get what one, maybe 2 energy cards, and then and they wouldn't even be relevant to the cards that were in the pack.
Yeah.
Where it would be like, oh, you got a Pikachu, you got a Charmander, and you got this other thing, cool. And then you also got a white energy,
Yeah. Or psychic energy.
or like a
It's
psychic
I can't-
energy, and you were like, I can't
do
even
this.
use this.
Well-
Like this doesn't work.
During that era of those card games, it was like basic rules. Like Yu-Gi-Oh was all tribute summoning, and Pokemon was basically just putting a Pokemon using energy and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Let's move on from the conversation from card games because we want to get to know you, right?
Yeah.
So before I see you have the Warhammer stuff in front of you, but we do.
I was just gonna say, what is that?
It's
Warhammer.
yeah,
I don't know what that is.
But-
I'm kidding.
Oh.
more nerdy stuff. Before we get into it, I do want to talk to you about
Yeah.
Critical
Smell
Cheese.
this.
Yes.
Musk.
Critical
So
cheese.
we've promoted Critical Cheese on our show before. We've talked about it when you had a little pop-up event right in front of Primetime Collectibles. This was like 2 months back, right?
Wait, this isn't prime time.
No, it's not. I was gonna say.
wait.
I know. I thought it was funny.
What are
when
you
you started
promoting them
doing
all?
that.
Like,
Local.
Right.
These guys are around anymore.
But no, so you had a little pop-up in front of Primetime, and I think the very unique thing about Critical Cheese is that your sandwiches, they're all nerdy themed, right? But you experimented with certain flavors, which I don't see a lot in most other grilled cheese shops. And you've had it once, and you have plans for it in the future.
Yes. I want to essentially, if you have a child and you love that child or just tolerate that child, hire me and I will cook grilled cheese sandwiches because kids are finicky, as you would know as a parent. And if you know nieces or nephews
I'm really
or
wondering
whatever,
where you're going with this.
I'm catering.
I know, he said,
really
like, if
wondering-
you have a child,
Do you have?
I'm like,
Do you? It's like, oh, hey, Critical Cheese. Do you have a child? I was
I'll feed them.
like, where is he going?
Look
with
for
this?
the mysterious white van without windows.
You ever had You ever had a child's grilled cheese?
Want a chopped cheese?
Dude, it's as weird as when my brother used to go to a couple to Mocha Loca,
Oh, okay.
and he used to always go, "Hi, can I have a child's wet burrito?"
What the? No.
oh my
So,
God.
And then I would go,
Yeah.
"What?"
No, you're
So-
grounded. So,
so-
tell us about Critical Cheese.
Critical cheese. Right now, what I want to do is my DMs are open. If you want to email me, reach me through Instagram.
Hell yeah,
I'll cater for you. I will do birthdays, events, bar mitzvahs, brisks, quinceañeras,
Mhm.
anything like that in between. And if you guys like grilled cheese sandwiches, or if there's like a very specific type of sandwich, like, hey, can you do this? I will work around those needs. I can do gluten-free. I work with gluten allergies. Unfortunately, not vegetarian, because for the vegetarians out there, you kind of know that cheese does not melt, you know, and it just
Non-dairy cheese.
yeah,
Non-dairy cheese
yeah.
just-
There's one specific brand that Noel was telling me about. I don't remember, but he told me to play around with it, so I want to give it a try. And if I can manage to do like have a vegan cheese, I mean, it's good, you know.
Well, go ahead and name off like one sandwich that was like.
What's your
Oh,
top
yeah,
seller?
yeah.
What do you think?
My top seller definitely was the Elvish King. So my spin-off of the peanut butter and banana sandwiches that Elvis Presley liked, but you know, it has mascarpone, honey. Well, the
Don't tell people
mascarpone.
your secret.
It's in the menu. It's
Okay,
it's
okay.
there.
If you read the menu, it has the
It-
ingredients.
Look,
I'm just saying, you know.
You can try and replicate it, but you just don't have that finesse that
Oh,
Yes,
there
like
it is.
everyone has their
It's
own
not made
little
by
flair, you know,
Sean's
like
hands.
you know that abuelita likes to add just a little bit more like bay leaves to the
Yeah.
thing or
Yeah.
whatever, and that's just their
It's
flair.
like-
Everyone's kind of like that.
It's like
you
when
know?
your grandmother makes you food and then she slaps it with the chancla.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to give it flavor.
Yeah.
Or you just make your mom really, really mad before she makes a salsa, so that way it comes out even spicier.
That is true.
I-
That is true.
I
She's
like that
putting all the
lifestyle.
hate in you.
Yeah.
She's like, this little, I'm gonna hate this kid.
So why
Make your
critical
asshole
cheese?
burn. Oh man, why critical? I mean, grilled cheese sandwiches hold a really close part for me. As when I was growing up, my mom, whenever she would get sick or anything like that, I couldn't really cook anything. I didn't know how to cook yet, and I'm like 7 or 8 years old, but I knew how to make a grilled cheese sandwich. Just butter the toast, put the cheese in the pan. I burned a few of them.
Yeah.
But then after a while, that was like the one thing that she would love to eat was a grilled cheese sandwich. So the grilled cheese sandwich is my ratatouille moment. That is my nostalgia. That's where I feel like I can really connect because it's soul food, you know, like I can really pour the love and like that greasiness and just the feel good. You're gonna, when you eat a grilled cheese sandwich, you're, at least what I want to do is I want to feed your stomach and I want to feed your soul, you know, and
There's also
that's how I can do that.
There's so many places to go with a grilled cheese too.
Yeah, honestly, it's infinite. I mean, you can do a patty melt grilled cheese sandwich. You can do a tuna melt grilled cheese sandwich. You just have to get creative. Like one that I want to make is a smoked peaches and French toast grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh.
I really
Sounds
want you to
slutty.
Goat cheese.
I want you to try my my tuna melt. My tuna melt grilled cheese sandwich
I love tuna
on
melts.
on sourdough bread with some
Yeah.
pepper jack
Yours?
cheese.
Yeah.
I know how to make. Dude, I know how to cook.
I know you know how to make it, but we're talking about critical cheese, not critical Nick.
I'm
Cheese.
saying I want him to try it.
I would love to try
Is
it.
that-
And then you sell it to him.
This is how we talk. This is how we have conversations, Brian. I say things and then he bounces back and he goes, "I would
he
love
gets
it."
so defensive.
Are
You
you
know
guys-
what he does?
This is how you
he gets so
start
defensive.
conversations.
Are you guys familiar with Pit and Bowl?
No.
It's the smoke shop or the smokehouse that's right here in the brewery.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
tried it.
we tried it the other day. Yeah,
Yeah.
How'd you guys like it?
it was good.
Yeah.
It was. You know what? It was good, but it needed the barbecue sauce. Really sold it.
Yeah.
That's
So,
what it was.
Fire barbecue sauce.
The number one thing that they have going over there is their barbecue sauce. Their pulled pork was pretty good. Their ribs were delicious. I thought the ribs were a little too peppery
Yeah.
for my taste. Like they just
It's
just
a good dry. It's a dry rub that
It's
we do.
it's a dry rub, but I felt like the pepper was overwhelming because there's pepper inside of on the ribs and there's also pepper in the barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
And pretty solid brisket.
The brisket was really tasty, but the thing is that I feel like when they were making the rubs, they didn't think about what's in the sauce.
Oh no, definitely. Trust me. It's the chef that I work for, because as of recording this, I'm no longer there, but I am. What I'm getting to is I am also planning on doing a critical cheese event with Pit and Bowl, and we're eventually gonna do like a collab. And I told him like, hey, you want to do a pop up with me? And he's like, sure, let's do it. I'm like, all right, cool. So what I want to make is a smoked brisket grilled cheese sandwich.
That sounds
Nice.
delicious.
And dude,
Oh, you've been trying them out?
beef tallow
Uh-huh.
instead of butter for the bread, dude.
amazing.
That beef tallow just crisps up, and it's still like nice and moist.
Yeah.
That sounds
Moist.
amazing. That does sound amazing,
That's
especially
a
with
heart
the,
attack waiting to happen.
especially with
Uh-huh.
that barbecue sauce would go really well with that.
You're gonna get the
cheese.
itis real quick.
So-
after you
You're
eat
gonna
that.
knock the hell out.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
get sleep. You're gonna be like,
That was the problem when we went there the
Yeah.
first time. When we went, we were like, "Oh my god, it's so delicious!" And we were eating because I got the brisket mac and cheese,
Yeah.
the ribs,
And we got the
pulled
loaded
pork,
fries.
loaded fries.
fries.
We got like all this food, and we were like, "Oh man, we're gonna devour this." And we ate just about everything.
Yeah.
And then Brian walked in. And he was like, "Oh, let's go. Now we're gonna record." And I'm like, "Oh, dude, this is gonna be
We're
rough."
sitting here like,
We're like, "Dude, this is gonna be rough. I'm breathing heavy." I'm like,
There's certain foods you don't. Yeah, no, I feel it because there's certain foods you just don't eat
yeah,
because it knocks you out. That's
Yeah.
it.
or
big time.
like, especially if you're gonna do something
Turkey.
that's
yeah.
Tryptophan.
Oh,
See, I
yeah.
didn't even know that until like yesterday. When
really?
One of the
What,
because
tryptophan?
I work with dietitians.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, they were joking about trying to get into the market of supplements, and like, oh, I jokingly said, why don't you get into the market for like sleeping pills and stuff? Because like people really like want to get into that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what if we just boil turkey? I told them boil turkey,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I was like, wait, turkey can do that?
Yeah. Turkey.
And they're
makes
like,
you
yeah,
sleepy.
it makes you
tryptophan.
sleepy.
yeah.
But it's like a very small amount. That's
Yeah,
good
there
enough.
was. That's why, because they say like, oh yeah, if you have like a turkey sandwich, it's not gonna do anything. But if you load up like on Thanksgiving,
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
you're just
rib.
eating turkey all day.
Guilty.
But that's all
Yeah.
carbs too,
yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
dude, I gotta make that. What was it? I want to make the what's it called? The stuffing that my grandmother used to make
Mhm.
because it actually has turkey neck in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like the giblets from the turkey. Throw that in the stuffing, bro. It just
kills.
kicks it up a notch.
Yeah, it kills it, dude. It's
Bam.
delicious. And she puts like cranberries with like walnuts and everything. Oh,
Nice.
We
Wow.
definitely want to do stuff with you when
Oh.
Critical Cheese comes
Yeah.
back around.
Yes.
Because Renee and I were fortunate enough to try it when you had the pop up. You didn't
Yeah,
get the chance
sorry.
to, right?
No,
Yeah.
I walked up and he had sold his last
I
sandwich.
Yeah.
did.
So
Yeah.
And it was so funny too because I showed up and it was right as he was cleaning the grill. And then I'm like, "Sean, I'm here." And he goes, "Why?" Like,
So sorry.
why are you here now? And I'm like, "Well, I came because like I got out of work and,
And
I
that's
rushed."
the thing. I wasn't expecting to even like sell out that day because
No,
really?
in the back of my head, I'm already like, well, I wonder how much I'm gonna have to like take home. You know, what am I
No,
like? I
everything's
was already
gone.
thinking of like the storage. Where am I
Yeah.
gonna have to put this? Where can I leave it? That was not
Didn't
an
have to
issue,
worry
and I
about
was
that,
like,
yeah.
damn. Okay. So yes, if you want to book me for any kind of event that you
Yeah, they
want,
were solid. Yeah.
the link will be in the description for the video.
I haven't actually tried them, but they sold out. And
wrong
everybody,
camera. That one.
Sorry. I was looking at Sean.
I know you.
That's what I was doing. Yeah.
Camera one.
So anyway,
camera two.
I haven't tried them.
Yeah.
I want to try them and everything else, but from what they were telling me,
It was good.
It was really delicious.
solid.
Not only that, but also I was reading them, and my girlfriend was reading them with me, and she was like, "Are you gonna get this one? Or are you gonna get the Elvish King? Are you gonna get the regular? Which one are you gonna get?" And I was like, "I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on which one he has. I don't know."
You had a spicy one, right?
Yes.
What was the spicy one again?
That was the brimstone. So that one had a habanero aioli that I made with sauteed jalapenos, pepper jack cheese, sharp cheddar
Yeah.
with sourdough.
Sourdough is like the best bread to use for any sort of grilled
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to get
crisps
rye.
really well, yeah.
I want to get some rye bread. I want to find more artisanal bread loaves.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be later down because right now I just want to try and get my name out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off with something easy enough, but that's still unique, so I can just make a bunch of it and
Yeah.
not really break my bank
I
and give people their money's worth. You know.
I saw one the other day because my mom made it, and I was like, "This is some high stuff." Like I think
Some what?
some like real high stuff, like
Like
just
you
like
have to be
like
high?
like you would have to be high.
Like
to
you
think.
got to be
Stoned.
baked?
Like, you gotta be
Okay, I was
all of
gonna
my
say.
sandwiches guilty. I have made them as a product of me having a sandwich.
Yeah, I was no,
Yeah,
because
like-
when I walked into the kitchen the other day, and then she had made garlic. She had made the garlic spread for garlic bread.
Mm.
Then she got it over sourdough bread. She put it over there. Then she put some mozzarella inside the middle of it, so that way it melted. And then she got what was it, pepperoni? And then she put pepperoni in the middle of it, but it was like a spicy pepperoni.
Mhm.
And then she like grilled it together, so that way it made like this like garlic bread grilled cheese sandwich.
Did she use a panini press?
No, she didn't. She grilled it over butter,
Mm.
and then she just let that thing just like nice and brown up. And I'm like, And I smelled it too. I was like, is that garlic? He's like, why are you making garlic bread? She's like, no, I'm making a grilled cheese.
Damn.
Like, what did you put in it? And she's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's gonna be bomb. Like, it's gonna be so good.
See, so when I make a traditional grilled cheese, I don't use butter. I use mayonnaise.
So do I.
Mayonnaise is a good
mayonnaise.
substitute
Yeah,
mayonnaise.
for butter as
It's
well.
good
Yeah.
because like it crisps really well. That's the
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
And I hear
Yeah.
like the smoking of it really makes it better. That's
Yeah.
why it's easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I recently made a grilled cheese with spam in it. It
Ooh.
was good. Like I grill up the spam first,
Yeah.
and then I put it in the cheese, and then I put it in the bread. Oh, so
Well,
good.
Well, because
I
the
love
reason
spam.
why
Fried
I like
spam, so good.
that's why I love using
Turkey spam. Try that. Have you
Oh,
tried?
no, turkey spam.
The turkey spam is good.
Okay.
I like that
The
one.
reason why I like doing my tuna because I make it for my girlfriend whenever we have nothing in the house, and because I kind of grab stuff from all over because it's tuna with celery, some mayo.
Mhm.
Then I put jalapenos in it. Then I get the jalapeno juice. And I
Mhm.
put a little bit of that. I chop up pickles.
Mhm.
So that way, like I dice up the pickles, so you get like a little bite,
Put a little mustard in it.
a little bit of mustard,
Ooh.
and then what was it? Before I used to put corn.
Corn.
Put a little corn inside of the actual tuna
Oh.
itself. So that way you got that
I
little tuna.
really like
that way you
that.
got that pop. That way you get that corn little crunch inside of it, and that
Mhm.
little sweetness.
Yeah.
Then I would put a little pepper jack, little mayo, put everything else,
Mm-hmm.
put a couple other things. That's for me.
Sean, we'll send you over Nick's resume afterwards. That way,
Yeah,
let's
right?
maybe
Bro,
hire him.
if
It's
you want
fine.
to work
Just
in
give him
event,
This
what
guy's
you
literally, this guy's pitching. Hey, if you want to leave the show, that's perfectly fine. You can go to work at Critical Cheese,
know
dude.
what?
Hey, man,
Critical
I've got
Cheese,
this.
let's
I've
go.
got this great grilled cheese idea, dude.
That was
It's
my
got
plan all
tuna.
along. I'm just
Yeah,
poaching.
right?
I'm just poaching this entire time.
That's all
Filling
means,
out the
dude.
podcast.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're not even talking about his grilled cheese. We're
Just because you never made a grilled cheese before,
I don't know why you get so defensive, dude.
Why haven't
you
you
gotta
made a grilled
relax.
cheese?
I've made a grilled cheese,
what do you
dude.
put in your grilled cheese?
Don't worry about it. It's my stuff.
Secret. It's a
Yeah,
secret.
I can cook. Trust me. I have to be the
That
one that
chef's
cooks.
special.
Use that brown bread, huh?
Mm.
That nasty bread.
That wheat.
What?
That wheat bread.
With the
Wheat bread.
cheesecake
When you're
factory
on,
bread?
Yeah,
when
wheat.
you're on a budget, you kind of have to use whatever
Cheesecake
bread's
one, yeah.
available.
Yeah.
Anyways, if
Yes.
you guys are wanting to support Sean and Critical Cheese, everything will be in the link in a link in the description below,
Yes.
or wherever you guys are listening to. It'll be in the description. We'll include his Instagram, Critical Cheese's Instagram. Go support, go follow him, and we'll definitely work together on
Awesome.
some
Yeah.
stuff. So that way we can go ahead and promote whenever you have a pop up because. Yeah, it's great. We tried the Elvish King
Yeah.
and we
It's
both
tasty.
Yeah.
enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So how about this? Whenever you do a pop up, we'll announce it on our show.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would
Perfect.
really, really appreciate
I
that,
would
guys.
I would love
please.
to have do a pop up for Free Comic Book Day.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay. When's
yeah.
that?
That's on the first Saturday of May.
I'll put that in my calendar.
Yeah.
Dope.
And
Yeah.
I'll let the owners know. Yeah.
There you go. Now, Sean, as a guest, we have, I'll give you two options, okay? We got comic strips, we got our main topic, which, if you want to talk about that, we can do, or we can do Warhammer.
Just for that deeper cut I was talking about. For anyone who watches the show who likes Warhammer 40,000, I'm right here. reach out to me because
I'm here.
I
know.
know.
For
Guys,
the fun, for
I
the
got you.
for the un-
Just check out the lore. That's all you got.
For-
That's
for-
how I got into
for
it.
So-
the for the uninitiated, what is Warhammer?
Warhammer 40,000, and the easiest way I can put it, it's a very, very dark setting game, the most bleak. There are no good guys. There are
Yeah.
just bad and worse. And it is a TTRPG, which for you normies out there, that's a tabletop role-playing game.
I like how you pushed your glasses.
You like them? Yeah.
My glasses.
It's a really fun game. You get to really explore the setting and the themes that there are. If each army, there's like a bunch of armies in this game. I think there's 22 playable armies for you, and each has its own personality. You like Starship Troopers? You like the bugs from Clendathu? Boom, there's an army. Tyranids. They just eat, and they will eat that planet dry of all of its biomass, use it for them to make new weapons or like upgrade themselves. Then you have the BDSM elves, the Dark Eldari, twisted creatures. You have
What's
the
their safe word?
there is no safe word.
Was it lost to the ages of time?
Oh, yeah. You're not far off from that, because the Eldari are like one of the oldest races in Warhammer. And you like Terminator? You like the T-100, T-1000, all that? That with an Egyptian theme? Boom! You have the Necrons. These guys are like just brass skeletons with like really cool, ominous looking like a neon green on them.
Okay.
Then you have, you know, your cut and dry, your poster boy, the face of the game, which is the Space Marines. There's
That's-
a bunch of chapters.
That's who I know of. Yeah.
The Space Marines are humanity evolved and genetically modified to perfection in the eyes of the God Emperor. The God Emperor is just the man who was born before Jesus Christ and who dies and is reincarnated a bunch of times. But yeah, he essentially just had this plan for humanity, brought us into the golden age, and then was betrayed by his son. The storyline for this game is enough to just like get into. If you don't even need to play the game. There are people who are into Warhammer for the lore, for the miniature building and the painting.
I
Okay,
only
and
know Warhammer from Vermintide.
I think one of our
Exactly,
friends
Vermintide.
just
That
paints
is from
miniatures, Bishop.
that's
those
Warhammer
posts.
the place,
Yes.
and I think that's called Age of Sigmar, which is like think Lord of the Rings, but like a lot darker.
Yes.
You
And
know,
then
that's-
and it's more. It's kind of steampunky as
Yeah,
well.
there's some of that. Well, in Warhammer, you have this army. It's the tech army from Mars. Like, oh my gosh, I forget their name, but it's just a bunch of cogs and like, you know, red robes and stuff like that. They're really really cool, and a lot of their machinery and like their planes look super dated for it being in the 40,000th millennium or whatever.
Mhm.
The orcs. Oh my god, the orcs are probably my favorite because they're the most overpowered race in the game, but they're too stupid to even realize it. They have the power of belief on their side. They're like, I want this bomb to blow up even bigger. I'm gonna paint it red. And the fact that I painted it red, it's gonna make a bigger boom. And they sound like these like Cockney soccer club players, you know, like very like, oi, what you doing here, humies? We're gonna kill you. And they call their guns their shooters, and then they have like their wa, which is like their group of people. Their currency is teeth, and like the orcs, they have no technological like experience, but they're like, hey, we're gonna get all these parts of like broken ships, duct tape it to an asteroid, and we're gonna fly across the universe. And because their belief is there, it flies, and they're able to explore space and like go to planets and stuff. It's hilarious. Paint it yellow, it'll go faster.
You're a nerd's nerd, dude.
So what's in the box? then?
Okay, so
What's in the box?
Yeah.
this box alone is just this is the special. I like to buy pretty things.
Mhm.
You know, I like to do that. But this here is what the God Emperor looks like. This man was fatally wounded from his favorite son,
Mhm.
Horus, and he was dying. He was gonna die. So they strapped him in life support, and he's been on this throne for over 10,000 years, and he's still alive. But to keep him alive, the Imperium has to feed him people with psychic powers.
Mhm.
On a daily basis, he will devour the psychic energy of like 10,000 people
Mhm.
every day for that long, just to keep him alive. But they need him alive, so he's like he helps the ships travel through space in a thing called the warp. The warp is literally hell. It's just straight up hell. You have 4 demon gods.
Mhm.
You know, you have Korn, which is really cool. You probably heard blood for the blood god, skulls for the throne. Then you have Papa Nurgle, who's like the guy of pestilence. You have Slanesh, which is the sexy, seductive, serpenty looking one. And then you got Zinch, which is like this blue bird who's like really into planning and scheming, and knowledge is evil and its power. And he plays the long game.
Mhm.
So my question for this, let's say you wanted to get into Warhammer.
Mhm.
Let's say you wanted to get everything else, because I do know that there are sets that are already pre-painted, they're already pre everything else.
No.
There
You
isn't?
you build. They only sell it to you in pieces. You have to build it, and that's where a lot of the fun is. This little guy, you get your clippers, and you take your time, and it's really a labor of love for you to make them how you want. You know, you want to make them look clean, and that's where the hobby itself can be as well. It's just in the painting and making the models. You know, you don't have to play the game to like Warhammer.
Because I know that it's the same thing with like painting minifigs for like D&D.
Yeah,
like I've painted a couple of minifigs for my D&D, and I remember like messing up a little bit and then going like, oh well, it works, because what I did is I accidentally put him down, and I was painting because I had a blight bear cape. So it was it was supposed to be a white bear, but he was a blight bear. So blighted would mean that he's like kind of like a zombie bear.
Yeah, necrotic.
Yeah. So what happened was that I accidentally put a little bit too much red, and it went onto the cape, and I went, oh dang, I messed up the cape. It was supposed to be all white.
Adds character to it.
So what I did is I go, oh wait, but it's a zombie bear. So what about if I just put blood, like the red and the black, and mixing it in, and then that way it kind of looked like just like rotted and everything else, and that way it looks like it's just like a rotted cape. And I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, and it works out.
It's a happy accident. Like
it's a happy
Bob Ross
accident.
says, you know?
Yeah, it's a happy accident. But I do
Not
understand.
Like that wasn't a happy accident.
I remember spending maybe like 3 hours. Painting a single minifig.
Yeah. So this was the special edition that I bought off of someone in the UK because
we don't get cool things.
We don't get really cool things from this company because a lot of it's shipped overseas. The company's based out of the UK. Yeah. A lot of their books, they actually have a separate company called the Black Library, who's solely doing the books, the novels. The amount of novels that this game has is over 200. This game has been going on since the late 70s, early 80s, I think. It's crazy. A lot of stuff has been retconned, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it happens over time.
Which is funny because, like, some really famous people were into it. Like
Henry Cavill.
Is like the poster boy.
And the guy who's Dandelion. The actor who plays that. They didn't even know until they were recording the second season that they both are into Warhammer.
Have you seen the interview where he finds out that the interviewer and him are both into Warhammer?
No,
because he then goes, "Oh, I hear you're into Warhammer," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm making I'm making this, and I'm making this," and he goes, "You know Warhammer?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've made this, and this," and then you can see that the other actor is just kind of like, "What's going on?" And then he goes, "We'll talk later.
Yeah.
I'll give you my number, and we'll get together to play." It's
cool
like, oh dang, okay.
I feel like it's really hard to talk to people about what you just can't like open up that can of worms to like anybody, but like if it's brought up in conversation, everyone kind of like comes out of the shadows like, what, Warhammer? What's going on? Because I mean, I don't know why, but a lot of people don't say that they play Warhammer, but
it's a niche community.
It really is.
It's more,
you Google Warhammer, first thing that is, why is Warhammer so expensive?
But I feel like a part of it is because there's a lot of communities when it comes to Warhammer. There's people that I know people that are into what you're doing with these minifigs, which is painting them and making them look really nice, and they get into the really refined details of even painting like the grills of the certain like characters, or like, you know, putting the visors a different color, things like that. There's some people that play the video games. The video games are a huge thing. People that just read the books and get into all that, and people that actually do full-on campaigns. The community is so diverse.
Have you seen the Etsy? There's a couple of Etsy stores that are just, you can actually buy the minifigs.
Yeah,
and they'll paint them.
Professional painters. They charge out the nose, but they're giving you quality work.
Yeah, and I feel like that's probably why, because when it comes to Warhammer, that community is just huge.
Yeah, what is crazy is this book alone is, I mean, this is the rules book that it is. But all of this is just fluff. It's fluff. Like it's not even, you're not even getting into the rules yet. And then let me see, I think it starts like around, I don't know, right here. And then that's just the rules of the game, and then everything that's just how dedicated they are to like the lore and their storytelling for this game. It's awesome. But this version specifically, since I shilled out a bunch of money, because I like pretty things.
It has shillings in there?
There are shillings. So these some game modes have secure this position, and you know, normally they have like their little plastic ones or whatever. But these came with really, really nice tokens, and I was like, objective markers that are pretty. All right, I'll buy that. And they made a certain number of these. Out of 1,600, I have the product of 800 out of 841.
I'm not a fan of that.
So
I'm not a fan of
like,
limited runs because it's cool.
That is what they do. They do so many limited runs.
It's cool to an extent where I feel like if you limit the number of certain things, because it makes it special, right? It does. But then you have that ability of pricing the crap out of this.
That's the thing. If you get a low number, like if he was to get something that's under 100,
and not just
the price
that,
will go up on that so much.
but you also got to remember that there's people that'll buy this and then not care about it, but know, hey, this will resell pretty well, and then just resell it for almost 2 to 3 times the markup of what it is. I don't know. Warhammer is interesting. There's a lot. I think
on a lore video, you know, like you're doing
That's
whatever
a
and you
whole
want
other
to.
thing.
I mean, they're doing a show pretty soon.
Yes, Amazon is going to be doing that. I mean, they were kind of like on the hush hush about it for a while, but then people started noticing that their stocks with Warhammer, when they had released it, were shooting up with Amazon, and then people are like, "Are they doing a show?" They are. Henry Cavill is rumored
has
to
somewhat some sort of play in it because I think they are
I hope
considering him.
I hope so.
Amazon's doing Warhammer and Fallout.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Bro.
Amazon and Apple were picking up just IPs out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But the thing is, does Amazon have that ability to? Because I feel like they're fairly new.
I hope
in terms
it's
of
nothing
studio.
like the Lord of the Rings
That's why
project that they put out.
There's a lot of liberty.
Not.
There's a
just
lot
hope-
of creative liberty.
Listen,
when
I'm
it
just
comes to
hoping
this
it's
stuff.
not Halo.
But
That's all.
that is the thing about Games Workshop. They are tighter than Nintendo when it comes to this IP. They don't let just any. I mean, recently they only did it with Magic the Gathering, you know, and I was actually surprised because there was a TikToker that I would
They
follow.
did it with Lord of the Rings too, right?
Yes. So I'm now that like it looks like they're opening up their avenues and they're like only like, hey, we know you're gonna do our product justice. Here you go, run with it. I mean, they did Wizards did a great job with the Warhammer decks that they did. It wasn't a set, but it was just like decks that they made. I'm like, all right, that's okay. It was enough. It was enough. But they're very stingy when it comes to this IP. They don't want anyone ruining it. So I hope Amazon will do a good job. I have faith.
That's a double-edged sword, though, because there is something of having that liberty of like, we're going to change a few things just so that way it works a little bit better on screen, and then also being, well, you have to stick very strictly to this, because if you don't, then if you stray away at all, the community will backlash.
Big time. And I mean, just because it's good, they have put out book series from the Black Library that are not that great. It's not always great novels that they do. They have their bad ones, and you know that's just a part of it. But there's so much source material. Just throw a dart at the board and boom, you can have like 2 seasons of just that one topic, that one situation, these characters. It's crazy. It's cool. But we got time for comic strips?
Oh no, there's absolutely no time for anything else besides one more topic.
Darn.
That's why. No, you're good. You're good.
Sorry.
What was the most important thing in comic strips?
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
What was the most important
There's
thing?
no. Hang on. There's a choice now because
Skim through it.
no, you don't get to paddle back. No,
I want
hang on.
I want a 2-hour long episode. What the heck?
Oh God, no, dude. That's bad on my computer.
Do it slow.
Get a
for
better
me.
computer.
Damn. Okay, with your funds of critical cheese, can you pay for my better computer?
I'll sponsor you, yeah.
Okay, thanks, dude.
But I get creative control.
Creative control.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Brian,
Actually, no.
I'm gonna have you all wearing coordinated hats every
You know what?
episode.
Funny enough, you
every
said
30
that.
minutes it changes.
We've had an offer before of someone wanting to basically like fund us, and they said, yeah, but you know they wanted creative control on one person. And they wanted me to have full creative control. And I thought that was kind of disrespectful because it's a 3-way project.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely no reason for you to actually believe that one person were to do it. So it happens.
Yeah.
You know, that's not what are you looking at me like that for?
They were trying to Yoko Ono you and be the John Lennon. Like, what the hell, dude?
No, that's how it is. It's a creative project.
Brian's not our Yoko.
No, they were trying to be the
Oh,
Yoko.
he's
yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
trying
I was gonna say like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna freaking take control over everything? And be like, no.
Oh my god, have you seen that
Oh
video
my
where she's just
god.
like, he's like,
yeah.
it's hilarious.
So we have about 20 minutes left into the show. We
Cool.
do
Do?
have, huh?
We do?
Yeah. There's 20 minutes left. We went on a full on tangent with TCG for like
Yeah,
a good half hour.
TCG,
Where were you?
Warhammer.
What do you mean? Where was I? I was literally trying.
Your
Rene,
jo-
if you
Your
listen
job.
to,
Your
if,
job is to keep us on task. You had one.
I am going
It
to
was
literally
also my
pull
job too,
from this
too.
podcast several moments where Rene and I were having side conversations, and you elevated your volume to just
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
And that's why I was looking at Rene going like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no out. There's no nothing.
Yeah.
I'm
You
good.
are a producer's nightmare when it comes to this crap. You know that?
It was an interesting conversation.
Because how do you cut to break?
You can't.
You can't.
No.
You literally
I
have
won't
to
let
like,
you.
I want, you know what I
You
need?
can. You just edit really, really well. You just make that good edit.
gonna hurt you.
No, I'm not. I'm serious. I
swear, dude.
No, I see it. I see it with where they're like, there's a game of Magic going on. What is it? Darn. It's a really big YouTube Magic group with Jimmy Wong and Josh Lee Kwai. Command Zone. And it's cool. They get really creative with their ads, and it's like Magic oriented. Like, oh, I have hair loss and I'm Sun Titan. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Use this product today. Here's our promo code. And then they're like, now back into the game.
Oh
And
no,
it's
there's
like-
ways of doing it.
And then they replay like the 5 seconds and like.
So the funny thing
yeah.
is, I because we've talked about this.
Yeah.
We had to speak. We talked to Ouch podcast after the show,
Uh-huh.
and yesterday
Funny
we were
group of
talking.
guys.
They were great. They were great.
Yeah.
I wish
But I
we
was
had
telling-
a soundboard. That would have been cool.
Everyone's saying that now. They're like, oh yeah, like
We were
have sound bits.
We were talking about this last week, where that episode in particular took me about 6 hours to edit because it wasn't just the going into the podcast and scrubbing out all the cuss words. I
Yeah.
still missed a
Like-
lot. Yeah.
I told you weren't gonna see it coming.
113.
I told him.
Dude, this
just
I-
the
Dude, you
like
suck.
defeat, and Brian, he's all.
Dude, you suck. You really
I love
suck.
you. I love you.
What an a-hole.
Hey,
what
I only did one. Okay.
What did I tell Nick last week? I was just like, you guys are gonna literally make me Robin Williams myself, and Nick just came in with you got to do something, you know.
Oh
Yeah,
you
gotta-
gotta peek.
You got to yeah. But when did you peak? And I was just like,
Oh, yeah!
My
I
God.
did. He was like, he goes, because he goes, oh yeah, he goes, you're gonna make me Robin Williams myself, and I go, you can't do that. He was successful when that happened. You have to reach there, and then you
Well,
can
yeah,
do it.
because
This month of guests,
we were
they're
shooting the
just,
skit.
You're just getting roasted.
oh, you know, there's
Yeah.
part of me understands it because I watch a lot of like YouTubers and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And when they have a producer in the background, they get roasted. So for me, the way I live with it is like, it's totally normal to roast the producer. It's fine. The guy that has the work on his back, it's
Yeah.
fine. Roast them. It's cool. So I have
It's
to just
not.
take it. You know, it's fine. I'll beat myself
No.
up afterwards,
No.
but it's cool.
You don't have to take it.
I'll take it.
You
It's
tell
fine.
them.
If
You
I
tell
have
them,
to, if it
"Stop.
makes the show work.
Hey, you
it'll work.
especially stop, or you're gonna get foul foul. You, sir.
You're a problem.
Yes.
If the
problem
show
child.
works, I'll make
You
it
bite
work.
that pillow and you
We're gonna
enjoy
give you
it.
Ritalin to calm you down.
You bite that pillow and
You know
enjoy
what?
it.
No, I will say before I offer the options that are that we have available here for the
Yes.
last 15 minutes.
Yes.
It's interesting because we've done this for 3 years,
Yeah.
right? And we haven't not missed an issue in 3 years.
No.
We're not huge. We barely have under 200 subs, but we have a dedicated following that like listens to it. But I'm getting to that point where it's like there's like a slight burnout when it comes to the edits.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell them it's like the less I have to edit, the better. Because
Yeah.
if I don't have to stare at my computer for 4 hours doing something, it goes a lot
I
easier.
wish I knew how to edit. So
And
I really do.
I messaged Sarah because she hasn't responded about the skit. I told her today, I like messaged her. I was like, hey, did you watch it? Did you have any
Yeah.
issues with it? Because in my head, I was beating myself up, going like, I messed up the skit. I messed up the edit. She's like, no, the edits was great.
Yeah.
But then what was the skit that we did? The Power Rangers one too?
Yeah.
That
Which
one, I hated the Power Rangers
Oh, that's
skit.
right. When we did
Yeah.
the Power Rangers one, and he was the villain, and I was behind the counter and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I hated that one.
But everyone liked that
And
one.
people loved it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm like that, but whatever. That's just me. So
It happens.
whatever. Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
It's okay. It's not you.
Well, let me offer two different options because
Yeah.
we have about, you know what, I can extend it to 145, so we have a half an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can burn through comic strips.
Mhm.
There are a couple, there may be like one or two that might take like 5 minutes, but everything else is pretty fast.
Cool.
Or we can do the full half hour of MCU stuff because there was a lot of stuff that came out of that. So it's up to you. If we can burn through comic strips in 10
Sean,
minutes,
what do
make
you
it a
guys-
record.
Sean, your option.
Yeah, your
have-
choice.
I'm cool with the
Comic
comic strips.
Yeah.
I don't have much faith. I got Marvel burnout, dude. Bob
Let's-
Iger and Kathleen Kennedy. You
Yeah.
guys.
That works.
You guys
Okay.
got it good in the Panderstone
Basically,
episode. I'm
what Sean's saying
glad.
is that he's not going to say anything good.
No,
about the MCU.
no,
So
I will not.
Let me do this. Let me do this. I'll start off.
Nerdrotic, you have like tainted me, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but you make some good points, buddy.
Let's do this. Let me go through the Marvel news real quick.
Okay.
5 minutes. There is one interesting bit that I do want to talk about.
Sure.
And then we'll jump into comic strips. So in terms of the MCU news that we wanted to talk about, honestly, it's kind of stuff we've already mentioned in previous issues before, so I don't feel like it really matters a lot. Via Variety, certain VFX scenes that were added to WandaVision and She-Hulk were added past when they were already released on streaming services.
Oh.
So if you go watch certain things back, they've added VFX effect to it. This came out earlier this week in an article
From Vanity Fair, right?
for Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
Same article had a tidbit where they talked about the director for the Marvels walking out on a audience premiere of the movie. She walked out once the movie ended, and it was kind of weird because most directors don't do that. They always stay and watch audience reactions to it. She just walked out, and that was it. And so far, the reviews for the movie are mid. That's what it is.
I wonder how much they're gonna lose with this one because I know
It's-
they dumped a lot of money into it.
$250 million to make it back $419 million in the box office to break even.
It's good.
Marsha Ali walked out, was ready to exit Blade based on the script, but Michael Green, who wrote Logan, is set to write the script from scratch completely, and they will be making the movie with a less than $100 million budget.
You know what? I'm okay with that because they did the same thing with Deadpool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and if you can make a solid story like they did for the Deadpool movie,
Mhm.
because I feel like for Blade you don't need a lot. You don't need it to be.
You shouldn't rely too much on like visual effects
No.
when you can just have like the choreography, the cool
Yeah.
But I-
stuff here and
But
there.
but that's what I mean though, because I feel like Blade, even though he eventually deals with bigger and badder Dracula and all these other people,
Yeah.
I feel like you can make the very much a ground level
Can you look up how much Logan made?
Daredevil-esque kind of like smaller
Budget, excuse
story,
Yeah.
and that would be sick.
You can even foreshadow like
Was it
Ghost Rider
2018?
in it too.
Yes.
Or like a version of Ghost Rider. Because
Meet
I don't
meet
know.
Robbie Reyes or meet somebody.
You don't need that much. You can do practical effects to it,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
where I can see why $100 million would work.
Yeah.
Marvel execs are looking to move away from Kang and actually go more towards Doctor Doom. In the same sphere, they're also looking to
would
bring
hope
back
so.
the original cast of the Avengers for another Avengers movie. That means reviving Black Widow and Iron Man. This is a rumor, so it might
Multiverse.
not be true. But they are rumoring that Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire will be leading the Avengers in Secret Wars.
Interesting. That's
That'd be
pretty cool.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a rumor. The tidbit I wanted to bring up because I do think it's a cool piece of production. Did you see Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Did you guys remember the mirror scene where he walks into the restroom and there's like a bunch of... Okay. How long do you think that scene took to edit?
I want to say 12 to 15 hours.
I'll say a day.
I'll say a week.
10 months.
Really?
It's a 10-month edit, and this just came out in an interview because essentially what they
Whoa.
did is that it was shot as practical as it could be, and then they had to edit the cameraman out of every shot frame by frame.
Right.
because of the reflections.
Oh man.
Well, they just should have had a
Wow.
vampire record it. I mean, they're invisible, right?
What
My
kind
thing
of
is
shot
that-
do you want me to get?
You know what? You know what
They
I,
could just like have Keanu Reeves like
But-
record or what's,
Yeah.
what's
but you know what? That doesn't make any sense though, because if I remember correctly, I think what's his name? I think Tarantino did a mirror scene of some kind, and he just painted them the background.
Yeah, but bear in mind that the scene starts. If this was the room, there's a mirror behind you, a mirror here, and a mirror here, and the camera was placed in this position, and then it did a half circle around.
No, and I get that, but if I remember correctly, they disguised the camera as like what the background looked like. They put like a what was it, like kind of like a sheet over it that
Yeah.
made it look like the mirrors behind it.
Oh,
So that way it had the reflection. So that way when they were going into the editing process,
But
it
what
was
movie
very
was that for?
minimal. I forget.
It depends on the era, because if it was that practical, it could work. I think Moon Knight was done with too much technology that practicality wouldn't have worked as well.
It's interesting because I was actually watching, I forget their name. The VFX artists critique VFX work.
Yes.
I was watching
like
that the other day.
Corridor Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching them earlier today, and then they were talking about how in Obi-Wan Kenobi the blues don't work, whereas in Watchmen the blues do.
Oh, the hues.
Like the hue of the blue, because if in digital blue doesn't pick up as well, so when you have that blue hue, it just whites it out.
That makes sense.
So that way, so the lightsaber just kind of started whiting everything out. Not only that, but also it just turned everything into this like weird like navy color. If you're looking at like when Ewan McGregor is holding his blade in like those really dark scenes, it just saturates everything with the blue.
I didn't watch Kenobi.
Okay, well, it just saturates everything. Whereas if you were to watch like Watchmen,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have Dr. Manhattan walking around, you can obviously see that there is blue light that's shining on you,
Mm-hmm.
but you can still see all the other color spectrums that's on it. So
Do you ever-
and the reason why they were saying is because one was done digitally, and the sensors weren't picking up the red and the green. It was only picking up the blue. And then on Watchmen, they were filming in film. And so the film was actually picking it up because it was the grains in the film were actually picking up the colors more crisp.
Oh, that's cool.
It also has to do with the background of the color and the kind of like overlay that you're doing. So did you ever see Ahsoka?
No.
Oh, shoot. That would have
I'm
been
done with Star Wars too.
Oh, you're done with that? Okay.
Yeah.
Look at the difference between the red lightsaber in Vader's scene in Rogue One.
Every episode, I was like, I wonder if they're gonna mention Ahsoka. I wonder if they're gonna mention Ahsoka. Like,
No, I get you. But
No.
the red blade in Rogue One
Yeah.
on Vader is different than the red blade in that the girl uses. I forget her name.
Who?
the girl
The,
with
the only
white
girl
hair.
with the red saber.
Girl with the white hair.
Yeah, Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shin.
That it uses it because there's different. Vader's scene in Rogue One is all in dark, so the blade looks whiter, and in Ahsoka, because it's a lot more background color, you see red in his blade. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about the MCU. Echo also had their trailer drop today, which is their first TVMA show that will be releasing on Disney Plus
Do we
it's on
honestly
Hulu. It's gonna be on Hulu.
and on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Okay.
do we
Yeah.
honestly care about Echo?
Huh?
I saw the trailer. I'm like, I don't.
I mean,
Here's why I want it.
Yeah.
Do we
Here's why I
honestly
like
care?
it. Because I'm tired of people saying, "Huh? Do we care?" I care.
Why?
you?
What do
Brian
you do?
cares.
I care
Why
because
do
I'm
you
tired
care?
of TVMA audiences thinking that in order for a show to be good, you need to have a lot of violence. Whereas a TVMA show basically just means that your characters should suffer consequences. Because none of
Sons
the characters.
Anarchy.
That's not what's gonna happen.
Sons of
I,
Anarchy
that's
was
but
like
I, that's what I want to happen. Because
Violence.
I said this in the message earlier. Captain America Winter Soldier worked because every character had a consequence. Your actions lead to something negative if you don't think it through. A lot of these shows don't have that. And so when you look at Echo, if you're going for a TVMA and you're having this much violence in it, what are the consequences to that? You got to
Yeah.
show me that. Kingpin is a good character for that because he acts a lot on anger.
Yeah.
So when is he going to suffer? When are we going to have his downfall? Are we going to even see that in the show?
Well,
That's why I'm interested.
My question is that because I'm still kind of confused because she had a gun on him in Hawkeye, and it looks like she shot him in the eye, but she didn't kill him.
One way to find out.
She just shot him in the face
January
and went
10th.
like, all
He
right.
didn't see. Fisk was like,
She didn't double
Write
tap.
better stories.
She didn't double tap at no point. She was
It's
like,
not that hard.
she shot him once and then went,
Pay them.
it's good enough.
I
Like,
think it's just for me as the character of General and Echo that I didn't care about in Hawkeye. But I mean,
So this
she
character
was
was in Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the
And
thing.
Hawkeye wasn't that good of a show.
That's
Hawkeye
the
was
thing. And then we're giving this character a spin-off. That's the thing. And it's like, okay, well,
We got to start
Also,
setting
it's-
the
it's all
bars
inside.
lower.
Huh?
We
it's
got
all inside.
Nick. We got to start setting the bars lower.
She's deaf.
I
Oh, yeah.
figured
Yeah.
because when I saw the trailer, I heard the ringing, so I'm like, oh, so cool. I guess
we'll probably get an episode.
we're not
of,
gonna
like,
get Daredevil.
where
I
it's
I
her
wouldn't think we
perspective.
They're
would.
dropping all episodes.
Yeah.
That's
All
interesting. I
that's-
forgot about that.
Not a. Oh, I
All
don't
right.
know if they have faith in that.
In all
now.
in all fairness, that's what they should have done with Loki. Because
Why-
Two
why-
episodes
why
per
not?
week, and I would have been fine.
Yeah.
Loki season 2 feels, the more I watch it, the more I'm like, they should have just been an episode don't
Well-
because I'm starting not to care.
What I don't like is that it's this whole thing when Disney Plus puts out a show, it's less than 10 episodes. It's always 8 episodes or 6
Six.
episodes.
Why do you think the writers?
And I'm
went
just
for it?
like, but
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah, good
ridiculous.
point.
And I'm like, I want more content.
Yeah.
But I've noticed though, because I watched the new episode of Goosebumps, it reached its 8 episodes, but it had that in this 8th episode this week. It did feel like it was a finale, but we still have 2 more episodes. And I realized
Oh.
why that is. It's a Sony produced show. So Sony's putting out 10 episodes because normally if it was a
Disney.
Disney
show.
or
Yeah.
any sort of show from Disney at all, they would have just cut it right here and that would have been the finale.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Watch
cool.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps is
Yeah, I
good.
want to check it out.
Yeah,
Watch
that was-
Goosebumps.
that
this
was-
this past episode was really good. They end one arc.
I like how they have
Yeah.
Jason Long in it. I
Jason
love
Long?
that actor.
He's the best.
He's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Scream
Accepted.
King. All right.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do
Tusk.
the world record of comic strips?
Yes, do it
Yeah.
fast.
All right. Comic strips portion of the show where we don't change it
No,
enough for 10 to
make it-
15 minutes. And
we have to be able
da-da-da-da-da-da.
to- we have to be able to hear you.
Mumbler.
Comic strips is a portion of the show where we talk about topics that don't merit a 10 to 15 minute conversation. And we try not to tangent.
Being too
This
loud
is all
now.
together. Huh?
Being too loud now. Okay.
We're tangenting.
Bring it a little down.
Where's the bit that we were doing earlier?
Yeah.
Ah! Let's start off with this. Some video game news. OG Fortnite drops its map today, and the game has reached its highest peak of 5.8 million players playing at the same time.
Damn.
Doesn't matter. It's fine,
Okay.
it's fine.
It's Fortnite. Who
Well,
cares?
is it
but
like
it's
they
back.
going back to
It-
basics?
It's year
Is
one
that-
No.
Fortnite. It's the classic guns, the classic map. You know everything that because
Fortnite
they
was
changed
built
it.
on. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can reboot players, so you can come back to life when you die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
That-
know. It's Fortnite.
maybe. I don't
It's a
know.
kid's
I haven't played
game.
Fortnite in like the last time I played Fortnite is when they had like you could play as Spider-Man and Green Goblin as a skin.
Yeah.
And I got the Green Goblin skin and that was really fun.
Do you remember when you could play Fortnite and not play against crackheads that went like,
Oh yeah.
I think that was the main thing. Like I couldn't play Fortnite because the building at this and doing it on control. I'm like, yeah, no. But like they have the no build mode. I'm like, oh, this is fun.
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say
It
this:
was cool.
if people come at us for saying like you guys are just old and can't build fast, try to play Super Mario Brothers, dude. Because none of you guys can do platformers, so you know.
Well, try to play Super Mario Brothers. It's like playing Super Mario Brothers, but then also you're trying to do Mario Maker on top of that.
No, my big thing for Fortnite is I just don't like when I have small children that go like, "Oh, you mean that guy from Fortnite?"
Oh, Master Chief from Fortnite.
It's the guy from Fortnite.
They see Goku and they're like, "Oh, that's that guy from Fortnite."
Yeah.
Do you have kids like that? That sucks, dude.
What-
My niece is a
what's the
little like
studio?
that.
What's the studio that does Fortnite from
Epic Games.
Epic Games?
Epic Games, yeah.
Man, they just snatched up fucking IPs out of nowhere. Like,
No,
I mean,
that's the thing.
it's
they
cool.
at the time early on, they were able to kind of like get away with it because when they had the John Wick skin, they
Yeah,
called
he
him
was,
they called
like-
him the Baba Yaga.
Did they?
Yeah,
oh,
they-
that's
they never called
right.
him John
I
Wick.
thought it was so funny because I got a notification because I bought Alan Wake and it was just like, did you
Alan
down-
Wake 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you get the Alan Wake skin for
Fortnite.
Fortnite?
Oh
And then
my
I
God.
but I
No
looked at
way.
I looked at the Alan Wake skin and then I was like, isn't that just John Wick?
Oh.
Yeah.
It looks like John Wick.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Speaking about inconvenient pop-ups, Modern Warfare 3 comes out November 10th.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't, but it was interesting because apparently
Didn't it
people
already
logged in.
got- Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't it already get a rating on that? Or no?
Hang on, you're beating me to that point.
Oh, okay, I was
But
gonna say.
apparently people have been trying to log into their Xbox accounts and
Yeah.
they're prompt to buy Modern Warfare 3.
Really?
Like without any like warning. Like you can't just jump into your
I'll
account.
pop in Modern Warfare and then just like boom, Modern Warfare 3.
Modern Warfare 3, get it! Hey, get it! Get Modern Warfare 3 right now!
There's
I'm playing the first one!
There's another thing right now. Apparently, if you've pre-ordered MW3, people are having this issue, but it's now happening to people who didn't even pre-order it. You're
I
going
know
down
what
to
you're talking about.
rank 1. So if you if you were like level 300 something and you're
Yeah.
like prestige,
Oh!
you're now at level 1, and people are like,
Modern Warfare 2.
Did they just lose all their backlog of data
Mm.
to transfer it over? Because this
Yeah.
is essentially a DLC. Like people went into the source code or like the trophy system for PlayStation,
Mhm.
and it's not even its own game. Like you open up the trophies in MW2 and then it's
Yeah.
like this subsection.
Oh,
So
no.
it's just $70 DLC. The campaign, they just recycled a lot of the stuff from Warzone and
Yeah.
DMZ,
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah, we're gonna use these pre-existing
Mhm. Assets.
assets, and then just make a third campaign with it.
Mm-hmm.
And $70, baby.
$70. Remember the
Yeah.
old times where you would pay $15, get 5-6 maps, and a zombies map on top of that from like World at War or even like Black Ops?
Yeah.
And like a couple skins.
The golden age of Call of Duty's gone.
But
Yeah.
that data loss isn't new because I remember when Modern Warfare 2, the first one
Mm-hmm.
from like 2010
Mhm.
Yeah.
came out, there was a time where you couldn't log into your account because if you did, there was like some sort of like data thing that was going on where if you logged into multiplayer, it would erase everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember
The
not
modded
playing.
lobbies people would have.
Yeah.
That's why.
I couldn't play Modern Warfare 2 for like 2 days. And I was scared for my life because I didn't want to lose. I think it was like 8th prestige by that point.
But the other thing is
Yeah.
that what I didn't understand from Modern Warfare 2 is not Modern Warzone 2 is I didn't understand why they didn't just allow you to take your skins and send them over.
No one knows.
Money.
Yeah, no
No.
one knows.
No, because you know what? I would have had so much more buy-in. I would have had so much more buy-in if I was able to take all of my skins and send them over.
Yeah.
Dude, I had the John McClane skin.
Did you have the Jigsaw skin?
Fun. I had the Jigsaw skin,
Yeah.
John McClane. I had Leatherface. I
Oh,
had
John
Ben-
McClane, that's right.
Dude,
I forgot,
I had,
dude.
I had Rambo. I also had what was it? Ghostface? I had so many skins that were just fun to play. Like I loved playing as John McClane.
Nick, let's just go to the bank, pull out $200 and burn it.
Dude,
That's the same thing.
Dude,
Yeah.
honestly, that's what it was
Yeah.
because I loved playing as John McClane because I love the idea that he's running barefoot throughout all of Warzone in this desert. But also, I loved, I just loved I loved the fact that they added the sounds to it. Where like
There were
when you're-
sounds?
yeah,
Yeah.
when you were playing as John McClane,
Oh.
it had audio clips from the movie.
Okay.
Where like you what was it where like you'd be in like a duct and then it's just like, oh yeah, they told me to come down to
Yeah.
and everything else are like, are you crazy?
It was all lines from Die Hard.
and it was all lines from Die Hard and it was like, oh, this is perfect.
They did
I
Ash
love
Williams for the Halloween event going on right now for Modern Warfare 2.
Are you playing? Do you play Call of Duty?
I'm playing the free version. I don't need to give them my money. I mean,
Okay.
I
Well-
wanted to buy the skin because I mean it's Bruce Campbell.
yeah,
it's
it is.
it's
And
Bruce
it's-
and
and
Bruce
they-
Campbell
and-
lines.
Yeah, it has Bruce Campbell lines.
Oh my god.
Question for you:
No. Okay.
How big is the your storage on your PlayStation 5?
Right. Oh, I had to clear up a lot of storage to download Spider-Man 2, so I still have a good.
What was
camera.
the storage on it when you first bought it?
Oh man.
Was it a terabyte or 500?
250? No.
Oh, I think it was a 500.
500.
Yeah,
What do
no,
you
I
have?
have it
Because you have a PlayStation 5 too, no?
Yes, but I think in
Put
mine
an
it's
external
like
hard drive in it.
Yeah, it's like I think it has like 2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I have
How-
room to put in external storage. As well,
How big do you think the Modern Warfare 2 file is?
Dude, like a terabyte and a half.
Yeah, you're not that far off. 234.96, or excuse me, 234.9 gigabits
Wow.
of space.
How much
necessary
makes a
for
terabyte?
1,000.
Oh,
At that point, you might as well just put in.
we might as well
Well, that
delete
was-
everything.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
dude, I know some people that were like really into Warzone and all these other things, and it's like, dude, I have to keep deleting stuff.
Yeah,
Get off
Yeah.
my
The
computer. because-
PlayStation 4. I was
Oh, 'cause
doing
every
that for
update.
a while.
Yeah, not only that, but also I don't understand how shaders keep uninstalling themselves then reinstalling themselves. How does that keep happening? Every single time I turned on that game, it was like, oh, hey, did you download the shaders?
Thanks, Activision.
Let's
Why
get
can't
into
you
a
do a
topic
better
of video
job?
games that
Blizzard.
you two might enjoy. Baldur's Gate 3. The new patch apparently hurts the sex speed runs
Yeah.
in the game.
You have to
Wait.
work for Lazel now.
Yeah.
Lazel, you can't just hit it and quit it. for
So
Lae'zel.
there's a speedrunner by the name of May who has the fastest speedrun to sleep with someone, which is under 2 minutes. But now this new patch makes
What?
Lae'zel, under 2 minutes. But this new patch makes
it was Lae'zel.
Lae'zel a lot harder to bed. Basically, now you have to have a higher approval rating, and you have to actually prove your worth with actions to her.
yes.
Okay.
So she has to be in your party.
So now it's more
Alright.
real to life.
It's fine. I mean, I romance Shadowheart.
I have to work
I-
to
I
get
did-
this
I
person's
did-
attention.
Right.
I actually got Will on accident.
Oh, you did.
How do you
really
get
have
so-
to
how
be
do you
careful
bed
with
someone
some
on
of the
accident?
dialogue options? Yeah.
How do you bed someone on accident?
bro, it's like, hey,
A
you want to see a
bed,
magic
them-
trick?
whoops!
Come over here.
No, I was just talking to Will, man, and like,
Yeah.
and then like I was like, yeah, man, like you're cool, and then he was like, oh, like, you know, I'm really looking down on myself, and it's like, no, man, you good guy, like I really like you, and he's like, really. And then later on, you know, me and him were dancing together, and then, you know, he held me, and
I told him
See,
no.
I don't like
I
that.
told him no.
I don't.
dude, I
He
danced
wanted
with
to
him.
dance with me. I'm like, you're not engaging with me because Shadowheart's over there.
I don't like that.
Shadowheart will allow you to do it.
Well, she was cool that I slept with a few other things like an illithid and a
Oh.
demon.
This is Boulder
The
Gate?
demon.
This is Baldur's
Oh,
Gate.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you
Chris-
missed an entire
did you-
part.
Chrissy
Did
likes
you-
to call it a bald nuts
Nick
gate.
likes to put people down
Oh.
and then build them up so he can bed them.
Oh.
What?
The dentist system, smart.
So like
it works.
it's like a frat. Frat boy.
Yeah, man. It's the implication.
It seems like
That's classic. Hold on. That's classic frat boy.
It's the implication.
What? I think it was in a new season. They had the dentist system reversed. Oh my god! How do you spell dentist? What's dentist backwards?
Dennis.
Yeah.
Sinned.
Sinned?
No.
Dennis. So D.
It's sinned.
S.
S-I-N.
Sinned. Yes.
Yeah.
Sinned. Okay. It was like this whole dentist system that he had, but it was dentist backwards or whatever. It was just a.
But
Yeah.
because in Baldur's Gate, it's so much fun to just kind of. I'm just gonna talk to people, and then on accident, they're like, I danced with Will, and Will, you know, me and him were like, his face was right here, and like I was like,
So Baldur's Gate
Then
3
Will
is...
slapped me in the
Brian,
face.
Brian, you need to play
and
it.
I made out with Will.
People, if you haven't played Baldur's Gate, please, I implore you
And then
to play this game
And
because
then-
this is a standard of games we should be getting
Did-
from now on.
did
No,
you,
that's a
uh,
bad thing for you to say.
No,
Did
no,
you,
why?
Why? Did you have the orgy with all the characters?
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I haven't had Halcyon. Something's going on with Halcyon in my campaign right
Okay.
now. So
Because if you take Housing, Asterion, Shadowheart, and then you take them into the brothel, and then you get the two twins.
Do you, Rene, do you
I
remember
did
when
do that.
video games
yes,
were all about,
it was,
you
it
know,
was me, Shadowheart,
cool action
and the twins.
sequences
Yes.
and
No,
that-
but
being
you
a-
can get
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
no, it's all
I
about
didn't-
sex.
I didn't know.
It's all about
You can
it.
get all of them because Halcyon wants to.
Okay,
Oh,
can
yeah,
we move
Halcyon-
on from the
Halcyon
topic
is
about trying to bed
cleavage.
people?
You brought it up.
It was just one thing.
You brought it up.
In 10 words, why shouldn't this be the new standard of video games? I'm
Oh, that's
curious.
sarcasm.
Oh,
That was
okay.
sarcasm.
Thank
Spider-Man
God.
3, we
Thank
get to
God.
bed Mary Jane.
Oh, dude.
Honestly,
Dude, they did Mary Jane dirty for Spider-Man 2. What's up with that character model?
Oh yeah,
She's okay.
they try to make her more, I guess, like realistic looking when they just made her.
she looks scary.
Yeah, I was like, her last model, the first one looked better.
Yeah.
Let's talk some movie
She
news
is a
real
model,
quick.
though.
New Godzilla movie is coming out December
Godzilla
1st.
0.
-1.
-1, right?
Yeah.
You know what Godzilla movie I want to see? The Power Rangers versus Godzilla.
Oh, that poster that we have right
I
there?
was gonna
Hell
say,
yeah, dude, that'd be
on
sick.
No, dude.
Uh,
Ultraman
Godzilla.
versus Godzilla.
Justice League versus Godzilla.
Well, this Godzilla -1 trailer came out
Mhm.
last week.
Yeah.
Releases December 1st. Tickets are on sale. You can watch it in 4DX.
Ooh.
Ah.
Yeah, so
Are
I'm
we seeing
interested
it?
in seeing-
Are we seeing the 40
I kind of want to.
I'm down.
I wanted the chairs to shake and be like,
Get a
atomic
can of,
breath.
aerosol and a lighter, and just the people behind you burn a little bit of their hair. Like, wow, this experience
Dude,
is so real.
We took Andy to go see Maverick. Was
Yeah.
it? It was all
Dude,
we all
I've
went to
never
say.
I've never seen somebody get beat up at a movie theater.
Did you see
It's true.
the FNAF fight? Oh,
Yeah,
you guys
we
talked.
talked-
Yeah,
yeah, we
yeah,
talked about it,
yeah.
Yeah.
well, because
Oh,
no, because
That-
it's super funny because when we went to go see it, Maverick has a lot of 4D stuff where like the little motors just
Mhm.
like kick you in the back. Andy's small, so the motors were right in the back of
He's a
her
little
head.
bean.
Oh,
Yeah.
So like literally, no, dude, no. It was like,
ow!
like
so
you-
Nick caught most of that.
Yeah,
that was the
I-
thing. I was more
Brian.
engrossed. What was that? Dude,
Brian
it's
was-
Tom
You're
Cruise.
gonna let that chair just beat up on your wife,
dude,
dude?
it was so funny because you see like Andy and she's like taking her feet up and she's like trying to get away from the motors and like she's like
Oh.
sitting awkward and I'm like,
Yeah.
are you okay? And she's like, no, I'm
that
not
sucks.
enjoying this at all.
No,
And
she
then
had fun with it.
she
I
had
did.
she had fun by the end of it, but like she was getting her ass kicked by
Man.
Was it worth it? Yes.
Yeah.
She spent $40 to get her butt kicked.
We got
job.
5 minutes left, so I'm going to speed through this last bit, and I'm going to end it on a good note. Disney set to buy out the rest of Hulu for $8.61 billion.
Billion?
I just want them to merge.
Billion.
I honestly just want them to merge.
Just merge.
Yeah.
And
Just
how
merge.
about you make it cheaper? Because I'm tired of paying
Merge
so much.
Disney,
Yeah, fair.
merge Disney and Hulu together. Disney Plus
Yeah.
and Hulu together, and just make it one app.
There you go.
Yeah.
Speaking about studios are supposed to be delivering an offer tonight to the unions. These talks can extend all the way out into the weekend, so we won't know until after this show releases on Wednesday if the studios and the unions have reached an agreement
And if not, they're going to be waiting to
January.
January.
to do something about it.
Ridiculous.
So-
2 more months. If it doesn't go through, which I don't
So-
know. I hope so. Yeah.
I'll keep mentioning it. If you guys want to keep up to date with this stuff, the links are always attached in the description for more information on all that stuff. If you want to throw in some support or just know what they're talking about or what's going on, it's all in the description. You guys can find all that stuff there. I think the biggest argument, the biggest hurdle that the unions are trying to cross over with the studios is the usage of AI.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. So
Yeah.
we'll talk more about it next week if the guest wants to talk about it. But that's it. Last bit. Positive news, actually wholesome news. Scott Pilgrim, the anime, comes out November 17th.
Oh, fun.
Have you seen Scott Pilgrim? Yes, that's it. Okay. So here is the cool wholesome bit.
Is the whole thing coming out at once?
No, I don't. Oh, it's Netflix. Yeah, probably.
Hmm.
So
Sweet.
when Edgar Wright wanted to bring in the cast, he sent out an email to the entire cast titled Scott Pilgrim ... to be continued. Within a few hours, the entire cast replied with a resounding yes.
Cool.
The brilliant thing about this is that Scott Pilgrim is one of those like cult movies that isn't a cult movie because it had a lot of commercial success after it came out to like DVD and streaming. And there's been a lot of interviews, specifically with Michael Cera, where he talks about how Scott Pilgrim filming it was like the best part of his career because he felt like there was a family there and he really related to what was going on in the movie.
I read a different story about Edgar Wright texting an old text thread.
Yes. So I think it's both. I think he sent this email out initially and then the text thread existed, but I don't think it was Edgar Wright. I think it was
Might have been Michael
Cera and Chris Evans.
Because I thought Michael Cera put it inside the text thread. So it was an old text thread that they used when shooting to kind of say like, "Hey, this is what we're doing."
You have to think it's someone still had it in their phone.
Yeah, and that was, I think that was Chris Evans' text message. I didn't realize I still had this thread
That's
because it popped up in his thread when Michael Cera sent the text message, and then when he was going back, it had all the old messages.
That's cool.
So it popped up. So the
memories.
nostalgia kind of kicked in.
That's cool.
So he was like, I didn't even know I still had this thread, and then they all started talking again, and that also really helped to like really go, okay, yeah, I'm down to do this.
A lot of the behind the scenes for Scott Pilgrim had the cast really put in their own input for certain things. So I know that scene where Michael Cera throws the box behind his head, that was shot like 30 something times
Yeah.
because it was natural.
Yeah.
But I think it was more of his direction of like, I kind of want to just keep doing this until it happens.
Yeah.
They also had a great time doing the scene where his roommate, what's his name?
Oh, Kieran McColgan.
Yeah,
The other
Yeah.
cool
but
thing.
I forget his name. Whatever.
Wallace.
Yeah.
He opens the door to answer to Knives, and then Scott runs behind the door, and then they switch an actor so the stuntman jumps through the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently that was a great scene for them to shoot. Chris Evans loved his scene.
Oh yeah,
As
he
well as
loved
the
all
others.
his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I in general, all across the board, everybody loved it.
I remember they did a reunion Zoom call during the pandemic.
Yeah.
That was cool. They did a table read along with. They brought back a lot of people too. They brought back mostly everyone, and even Chris Evans was able to do it, but he was only able to stay up there until his scenes were done, and then he had
Yeah,
to
he
get,
had to leave.
yeah, they had to dip out and stuff.
Because
I
he was
think he was
working
still
on something,
filming.
right?
Yeah, he was working
think-
on stuff. Yeah.
I think he was still filming, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we're
I think it was
excited for
Knives
Scott
Out.
Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Was he in Knives Out?
Yeah.
Yeah. He
the
was
first
in
one.
the first one.
I think he was filming Knives Out at that time because they were doing the pandemic.
We
Oh
did
wait,
the-
was it?
No, I
No,
thought
it
Knives Out
wasn't.
came out before
Before
the pandemic.
Knives Out.
So what was
A
it?
Glass Onion was pandemic produced.
Okay,
Oh,
it might have been his. It might have been his Apple
Oh yeah,
his Apple TV
series.
show.
Yeah, he was
Oh.
doing something.
Because he had an Apple series where it was like his son had murdered somebody and then he had to like cover it up.
The
Yeah.
only reason I know Glass Onion is a pandemic movie is because there's that bit where
In the
they're
very
walking.
beginning when they're walking with the mask.
It's such a BS thing, but it's so it's
and they give him like a little shot,
A little
You're
spray,
good. And
yeah.
even Hawk, who's like, "All right, open your mouth. You're good."
Did you guys
Yeah.
watch The Bubble?
Huh?
You know what?
The one with the bubble.
I had such high expectations because it was a Judd Apatow.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy it.
It was kind
throughout.
of boring.
It got boring, and then like I was just really disappointed with the ending. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh
was
yeah,
like-
it was just the movie of
Mhm.
yeah,
The movie,
yeah.
it was very Tropic Thunder. That's what I was like.
Yeah.
It went Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
and
You
I
didn't
was
like Tropic Thunder?
No,
No,
the
no, it-
ending
yeah.
for The Bubble was very Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we're gonna make a movie about our experience of making a movie,
Yeah.
and that's what made it
That's-
successful.
yeah.
Well, that about does it for comic strips and the show in its entirety.
Mhm.
Sean, thank you so much for coming on the show as a guest.
Thanks for having me.
I think Nick, Renee, and I have talked about it. We really loved your chemistry in the show. Whenever you either come in on as a guest, this is the first time, but when you've co-hosted before,
hmm
it's great and it makes the show work. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And
Thanks,
then
guys.
thank you for being a guest. You've been great. All his information will be in the description below, so go check it out. Go follow. Let him know that we sent you guys there. And please, if you guys are interested in Critical Cheese, follow his Instagram for Critical Cheese.
Yeah.
We'll also put his address at the bottom.
I will be.
Why do you want to dox people so bad?
You know,
What?
I actually was gonna try and want to dox you this episode, but
Why?
I didn't want to. Because that's illegal.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
found
you-
out.
I was gonna do what you
No,
wanted
you
to
didn't
do.
find out. I told
ask
you.
Questions.
It was so- it
I
was
would've
so-
done the
it-
same thing.
It was so funny.
I told you.
I know, but he literally walked outside of his house on Halloween. It was like, I wonder if Brian's being serious.
So if you know where I live,
No.
No, because we found out we're neighbors.
yeah, we're neighbors.
Like
So
literally,
if you find
we live
one, you
across
find the
street.
other.
Which-
We're
But
a
I
package
literally
deal.
No, but
told you.
it was so fun. I know you told me, but I thought it was hyperbole. I thought you were like,
We're
What-
neighbors
do you-
in souls.
It's so do you think that anytime I tell you something, I might be lying to you?
yes,
You have trust issues.
I do.
We're all
So-
damaged beings here.
No,
Yeah.
so anyway, he walked outside on Halloween and he goes, I wonder if Nick's passing out candy. And then he walked over to
yeah.
my house and he was like, Nick. And I'm like, what?
Oh, you did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted. He also told me some interesting information.
Which we'll talk about after the show.
Yes.
Dope. All right, so let's close
Right.
out this show. Thank you guys so much for watching Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 172. Sean, you have the privilege and honor to close this out. Don't forget to check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com. Check out our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Check out our YouTube channel so you guys can see the skit, which you can only see there, youtube.com/Keeping Up with the Nerds. And if you guys are on the road, driving, working out, going for a run, but not
Cooking in the kitchen.
sure.
That's when I see you guys.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there's audio platforms you guys can go check out. Google Podcasts. No, that's dead. Never mind. I keep saying it's habitual.
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and Spotify. Leave a 5-star review where
Yeah.
you guys can. With that said, Sean, are you ready to close this out?
Yes. This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 172. I'm Sean.
Nick.
Rene.
It's Brian.
Signing off from Undercity Comics. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Later.